Hello everyone and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Sunday. How y'all doing? You voted on Cat Made, you get Cat Made. So let's get into it, shall we? I don't have a lot of stuff to go over. It's a new month. Happy Pride, everyone. So we have a new sub-goal. Costume Month Part 2 we're still going towards, so that's good. Tip if you want to be a part of that. I did get some stuff in the mail that I forgot to mention that I did want to, so I'm going to have to show that. Other than that, Professor Daddy, thanks for 23 months. Much appreciated. Lucas Dawn, thanks for 36 months. Happy 3rd anniversary. And Sub Baby says, need a name for the new Sub Baby. The nameless first baby, Bond, James Bond, and Odd Jobs Hat are getting a sibling. This one is, Dr. Nose Cat. Dr. Nose Cat. There you go. Mellow Fire, thanks for 7 streams. Fumble Homestead, thanks for a 5-stream streak. Astrofox, thanks for another 5-stream streaks. Has applied for a job, could use some Hannah job search luck. I bequeath on you the power for which I apparently have to get people jobs. There you go. Hello people on YouTube, how's it going? Do me a favor and like the stream, that would be appreciated. Remove my salt and vinegar chips that are delicious. My Spiro brain enjoys. Ashley says, installed Twitch on my TV and now I get to see you in HD, 45 inches. That's the first time anyone's ever described me in double-digit inches. That's nice. Isn't Blowfield the one with the cat, not Dr. No? You caught me. I've never seen a single James Bond film. Okay, let's see what people sent. We got sent to the P.O. box a bunch of New Orleans kettle-style voodoo chips. So thank you for those. I appreciate it. Person who sent them, there was no note, but I appreciate it. So that's good. Thin and crispy potato chips. I'm excited. I like potato chips. So that adds to my potato chip stash. Hell yeah, thank you. And then this, which I've had for a little bit, but I forgot to mention it. I received Wednesday, the first season, the Netflix show from Tim Burton. And there was a note. I had been given updates on this, but... Ben says, enjoy your gift. I love this series. Hope you and Baja do as well. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure we will once we get a chance to watch it. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's that. There was also a package with, Bill Bixby's The Magician. If you didn't know, Bill Bixby of Incredible Hulk fame did a 1-season show, in 1973 and 74 called The Magician, in which he was a guy that kind of solved mysteries and crimes, and he did magic, because he was an illusionist, and Bill Bixby in real life did magic, so that he actually does the tricks in camera, so that's fun. Alex Markle, I also bequeath you luck for your job interview. So cool beans. I think that's it. We can get right into it, with our first video. This is a really quick arrest. The Sobsit arrests are getting quicker, I've noticed. I think cops are pretty fucking over it, and all of them have heard about it at this point, so... Let's do it.
On February 22, 2024, an officer conducted a traffic stop for excessive speed and an obstructed license plate.
What's this?
She has one of those license plate tinting things. I don't know if you've seen them before. You may have. They're illegal in many places because they obscure your ID numbers for your license plate.
Morning, Deputy Regan, St. John's County Sheriff's Office. 2 reasons I'm stopping you. 1, Pine Island, speed limit's 25. You were going 36. Okay. That's still 10 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. It's 25. No, it's not 25?
Sir, I was going at 35.
So that's 10.
Bold to say outright, sir, I wasn't going 36. I was going 35. I was only 10 over the speed limit, not 11. Jadirty, thanks for a 10-stream streak, says, Cat arguing in court. I'm sure there's no way this can end badly for her. Oh yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
10 over. You just told me that you're going 10 over the supposed speed limit. Yes, you did. You said you're going 35, right?
Yeah, but I said
That's a 25.
35.
No, ma'am. The whole thing's 25.
Ma'am, say less. It's shut the fuck up Friday, even on a Sunday. M. Scheffler with 50 bits says, good luck with the jobs. May your work hours be short, and may all the money you make overflow your flesh pockets. Rageology says, Hannah, I'm feeling good. It's the first Pride Month in 14 years not to be under a conservative government in the UK, and the new series of Who is amazing. Good times. Great. I haven't actually watched last Friday's episode yet, so I'm excited.
The other issue is your license plate cover is illegal.
That kind of rules lawyering can get you out of a more serious ticket, Hannah. You know what, though? I'd let a lawyer handle that. I wouldn't be doing it at the side of the road.
You can't have a tinted license plate cover over your license plate. Before I ask for any documentation, are there any weapons in the vehicle? Guns, knives, hand grenades, tomahawk missiles? Okay, I need your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance from you.
Okay. Can I just go to
You can tell that's a
No.
joke he says every time he asks people if they have weapons. The way he says it, it's the kind of thing that in a customer service job you get used to saying 1,000 times a week, so it just like it's automatic.
I need your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
Okay.
I am not going to ask again.
I'm not driving.
You're not.
Traveling.
She's traveling. She's doing it. She's not driving over the speed limit. She's traveling over the speed limit. Very different.
Stand by.
Rageology says the only downside is the election season in 6 whole weeks, and it's going to take a little over 24 hours to get results after we cast votes. Can you imagine? Everything's gonna be a nightmare, but we'll have some fun during it, I'm sure. Sometimes in nightmares, fun, weird stuff happens, and you kind of go, what the fuck was that about? Like one time, I had a dream that it rained spiders, and that wasn't fun. But like, in hindsight, I can laugh about how ugly the room we ran into was. This election season is our spider storm. Maybe we'll run into a weird room or something. I don't know.
Are you serious?
Get out of the car.
Oh my god.
Start being test 9, code 1. Okay.
Worship 30 pages each. Good job.
Not a trial magic beat.
Guys, I got one secure so far.
It literally took 2 minutes to get her in handcuffs. Lucas Dawn says I had something, or rather, they should just change the name of the driver's license to traveler's license. That would show these sob sits. No, but then it would be, I'm not traveling, I'm driving.
Sir, I'm literally on my way to work.
She advised she was traveling, not driving. So read it.
Be advised, she was traveling, not driving. I bet that cracked up at least a couple of the officers listening. Rageology says that weird room in denial is denial, and my flat with the blinds down pretending the world outside doesn't exist. That sounds comfortable. I like denial. It's a cozy place to live.
Alright, well, right now you're under arrest for failure to identify. You were told to give me your license during a lawful detainment for a traffic violation, multiple traffic violations. You advised you were not going to give it to me, and that you're not driving, you're traveling, while you're sitting in the driver's seat of this vehicle, operating on the highways of Florida. Alright? Do you have any questions for me?
I gotta make one phone call, sir.
No.
I have to make a
Absolutely not.
I have to call
Nope.
my lawyer.
Do you have a driver's license? Are you suspended?
No.
No to
I'm
which
not.
one?
I have to make a phone call, sir.
Okay. Walk back to my car. Nope. Go to tow your car as well.
Okay.
Do you have any weapons on you? Guns, knives, hand grenades, tomahawk missiles? Anything that's going to poke me,
Well,
stab
we
me,
did it
stick me?
again.
No.
Do you have any narcotics on you?
No.
You're going to go and get checked when we get down to the jail. If there's anything on you, it becomes a felony when we get to the jail.
I don't have anything on me.
Okay. Lean up against my car, put your forehead on that glass. Spread your feet. More.
She's acting kind of, like, weird. Am I crazy? Like, is she... Like, I'm not saying she is high. I just wouldn't be surprised if she was. Like, what, she's just, like, nonchalant? I don't know how to explain it.
Is there anything in that vehicle I need to know about?
Flat. That's a good way to put
Okay.
it. She's just kind of like,
You gonna give me a first name or anything? Have a seat. Forty-two 62 St. John's. I found my driver in prior contact. She is very much suspended.
She is very much suspended.
I had her the call.
I wonder if that means, like, she was suspended. I wonder what he means by that, because he's got to mean, like, she's suspended and then had gotten caught previously, or something. It's too early in the morning. If it was too early in the morning to, like, talk during the arrest, do you think it'd be too early in the morning to break the law? I know, I miss Florida Man, too.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
I heard that.
So just
Did he say dude?
36 and the 25. Not the end of the world.
I'm getting to the age where cops are younger than me, and it's very weird to hear a cop be like, bruh. It makes me uncomfortable.
License plate cover. Not the end of the world.
It's just weird.
Actually, I was going 35. Okay, so you admit you're going. Okay, I need driver's license, registration for insurance. I need your driver's license, registration for insurance. I'm not going to ask again. Give me your driver's license. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. Walk around the car. Get out.
Lovely. Was she coming here to work or something?
Well, I lit her up there, and then she slammed on the brakes, turned in here real hard. And she's like, "Can I just go to work?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, man.
So, but we pulled her over recently. Luckily, in the same vehicle, so I just looked at the vehicle. Oh, she's in the medical field. That's super comforting. Jesus. They let delusional people provide medical care.
I appreciate this candid conversation.
Somebody's got to do the labor.
But I already got a tow truck on the way, so I just expected her to resist getting out of the car, and then she didn't. So, appreciate you. Yeah, I think she's like a home healthcare nurse. That's terrible.
Oh, that's not.
It's not the same
That's
thing.
not really a medical
Yeah, it's not the same thing, but
caregiver.
somebody's got to do it, man. They do important stuff.
I like that they're like, at least she's only going to potentially destroy one person's life.
Traveler's information.
TDLSR, second or subsequent, and refusal of ID. Not driving. It's been a minute since I had somebody pulled I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
I've never had that.
Up here, we got a couple like frequent sovereigns. She's got a social security card on her. She believes in that. She's not a driver's license.
Because it's suspended.
Oh, it is super suspended, dude. She's got like 9 or 10 suspensions on it.
How do you even get your license suspended 9 times? And you think after number 3, they're like, alright, this is your last one.
All for non-payment.
Baseball cubed rules.
So she keeps getting tickets, not paying them because she doesn't believe that the laws apply to her.
Mm-hmm.
I think there should be like, you know how there's HTO, just be one that's STO, sovereign traffic offender. So every time they get stopped, it's felony. Eventually, they'll learn. Hey, driver's licenses are required. Driving is a privilege, not a right. All right, no drugs. Yay.
I kind of like this cop. No drugs, yay!
She got like 4 different purses in this purse. Yeah, there's nothing in here, so I don't care about that.
I think that's what I'm afraid of if I get arrested, is cops judging my purse situation.
I'll wait on your tow truck.
I don't need people to know what a mess my life is, and my purse is a reflection of that. Radiology says, one MP in the UK has started talking about natural laws recently, so soft stuff is really getting embedded. Oh, lovely.
How you clocked me at 36?
On radar. Stalker dual, front antenna.
Okay. But I don't understand that. I was already coming.
I didn't ask you to understand it. I told you. Okay. That's fine. Your citation will say what the speed was, along with driving with no license and your charges for resisting. The speed limit that you don't believe in because you don't think you need a license?
I don't even get that. Even if you didn't think, like, speed limits were a thing, wouldn't you try to go along with traffic? I don't know. Just seems more safe to me. Whatever. Alright, next video. Vest Demon, thank you so much for 100 bits. This starts, after he has already asked for a supervisor. He was going to be pulled over by the police, was almost home, drove home, asked for a supervisor. That's where we are now.
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Stages 172.
What's your name and badge number?
Ali 164.
Hi.
What's your name and badge number?
Sergeant Taylor, 120.
What's his name and badge number?
So what's going on? You wanted a sergeant? What happened?
Huh?
What's going on? You asked for a sergeant?
Yeah.
What happened? What's up?
This is a federal crime for you to stop me for traveling. I'm not driving. I'm not making no money off of where I'm going.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, I'm traveling to where I'm going. He's following me, talking about he's pacing me. There's no such thing as pacing. Either you have me clocked or you don't.
Well, if he's going at the same speed as you, which I believe is what pacing is, basically they match your speed, and then they check what speed they're going, and if they're at pace with you, that's what speed you're going, because of physics, reality, how that works. If you're going to the same speed, you're going to the same speed. That's a thing. H-Baird says, went to my first Pride event of the year today. Just a reminder to everyone that this is the year we shine so bright it burns their eyes. I'll do my best. I gotta get a cute outfit for Pride this year.
Trying to run up on my car. He has no evidence. Why you still looking in my car, bro?
Don't focus on me.
Nah, you in my yard. You don't have no warrant to be in my yard. I never gave you permission. I never gave you permission to be in my yard.
Don't worry about that. Let's figure out what's going on. Get this solved.
All
Let's
right.
not keep backtracking.
All right, I'm gonna take my
move
hand out my
forward,
pocket.
okay?
I'm still. What's your name and badge number?
It's Sergeant Taylor, 121.
And you're the sergeant, right?
Yes.
So long story short, I'm traveling. I'm not driving.
Ooh, a
One of
Pride kimono.
your
Very nice.
sergeants
By
was-
the way, I still do have the tinfoil one right here, and I will wear it this week because it's been forever and I still haven't officially worn it. But we have the air conditioner fixed now, so I should be able to be cool enough that I can wear it.
Supervisor
I will wear that!
is already said he's gonna make.
Actually, I need to wait. I'll be wearing a costume of some kind. Tell you what, if we get tinfoil queen tomorrow, I'll wear it. Otherwise, I'll wait until the next time we're not on a costume day. But we've been getting tinfoil queen on Tuesdays usually for costume day, so assuming that happens, I'll wear it on Tuesday.
A note of this. I didn't do nothing to none of y'all. Y'all got so much traffic. Y'all got so much cars here because supposedly.
Make sure you vote for it for Tuesday, so it's thematically appropriate. I mean, you can do it for tomorrow or whenever. It's just, you know, it won't be thematically appropriate.
Y'all said I'm violent. Back in the day when y'all came to search
Me
6.
in a Pride Raver outfit that's literally bright. I'm going for slutty. I don't know. I lost some weight in the last year. Maybe I just want everyone to see my nice ass.
Serve a warrant. That warrant was false. Do you have a warrant right now?
No. Well,
Answer
right
me
now,
that. Do you have a warrant right now?
right
So
now,
why
no,
are y'all
so-
on my lawn in my yard?
I'm sorry. What's your name, sir?
What? I only have a first name.
Kingsley?
My name is what?
Kingsley.
All right.
Kingsley.
I don't remember your last name.
So,
I don't have a last name.
That's fine.
Kingsley,
Whatever.
let's focus. Let's focus on me. Let's try to resolve.
I'm listening.
So you called me down here because apparently you were traveling. My officer stopped you.
He didn't stop me. He tried to stop me with a false.
Okay,
What
'cause
is this?
We keep going up.
But this is a federal crime for you to stop a living man. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm American. I'm not
I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm American.
a U.S. citizen. That's the problem right
Yeah,
there.
no,
I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm American.
Okay. and
All I did was get to where I'm going, which is my house. I'm traveling. I'm not driving.
Do you live here?
What?
You live here?
I'm an inhabitant of
Okay.
here. I hear what you're saying, but I'm an
Yeah.
inhabitant of here.
I'm
I
using
don't
the
live
words
here. I'm not no resident. None
All
of
right,
that.
so you're
I'm not a
using-
U.S.
you're
citizen.
using
None
your
of that.
words that you
He
I
thinks
hear
she's
you.
he thinks she's
But we
trying
understand-
to trick him into claiming residence so she can say you're a resident, you're a citizen, or something. I don't know. Rageology says, had my first Pride of the month at By God Castle in the town of Bungay. They had the Progress Pride flag flying from the castle battlements based.
And we're saying the same thing, just different ways.
Mhm.
Correct.
Oh, look, Miru-sama.
I was
So-
making my way home.
Okay, so he was making your
He's
way home.
following me too close.
So
I
now-
didn't like that. I don't know who he is. Anybody could buy lights on Amazon and have red and
That's
blues.
actually illegal. They can't do that. They can't.
Just
have
because
it.
it's illegal don't mean people don't do it.
If
It has happened to me before.
You're in trouble.
It has happened to me
Really?
before.
Somebody stopped you like that before?
No, they didn't stop me. I'm not stopping.
Okay.
I'm going to where I'm going.
So-
Or I'm getting to where I feel comfortable to stop.
All right.
As of right now, I had no intention of doing nothing illegal. I did nothing illegal. All I did was travel to where
Which thing did you post it under in the Discord?
I'm going.
Which channel, I guess?
I'm at my house right now and y'all got all these lights here for no reason.
It's funny that he thinks once he gets home, it's like touching home in like baseball, and he's like, safe? Like, I reached home, I'm safe, you can't arrest me. Under creative? Okay, let's see, where? Ooh! Very nice. Oh my gosh. I see a shelf full of games and stuff behind there too. Sorry, I'm very big into physical collecting, so when I see pictures and there's games or movies or anything, I gotta stare at them. Very exciting.
All right. So Kingsley, so how can we? So you were on the road. So as a
On what road?
You were on these
Manianic.
roads.
I was
Manianic,
traveling.
okay. You were traveling on Manianic.
All right.
We'll say traveling.
All right.
On Manianic. My officer found probable
Why you
cause to
keep
stop
walking
you.
behind me, bro?
Kingsley, please just
Can you
don't
just
worry
stand
about
on
it.
the side of me, bro? I mean, you're in my grass right now. This is my property.
Kingsley.
Unless you got a warrant, can you go on the side of her, please?
They don't
Say
need a
less.
warrant, they were pulling you over for a traffic infraction or something.
I'm gonna walk back this way. I'm
So
listening.
speeding and misuse. All right. So you were Manianic. He had you speeding, and your car is not.
Do you have the
your
clock?
car's not. Well,
What
we
was
have
I
cameras
going?
in the
Hold
car.
on, what was I going?
The plate on your car.
I was doing 55 to try.
Hear him now. Hear him now.
Plate don't
The
belong
plate
on
Hear
doesn't
your
him
match the
now.
car either. So what else do you want to say?
I bought the car with that plate on it.
It still doesn't matter.
Okay, so the plate.
Oh, you did take a pic of the wall. Hell yeah. I'm gonna spend time staring at this later. I hope that's not creepy.
Plate doesn't have to match the car, even if you're traveling on the road. So now that's an easy fix. So if he come up to you and he just want to talk to you about that, and he's doing
I
that, so I'm
still
just
have
trying
to
to
feel
figure out-
comfortable where I'm stopping, but what y'all don't understand is you can't pull me over for a traffic in violation, which is a felony compared to my rights. I have a right to travel. Your little traffic infractions don't matter because I have a right to travel.
You
That
do
shit
have
is
Oh, there was some stank on that. Your little traffic infractions don't matter.
vo-
travel,
that
but-
shit is void
but the
because I
cars
have a right to
be-
travel.
The cars have to be legal.
What?
The cars have to be legal to travel.
No, legal and lawful is two different things. That's where you fucked up.
Yeah,
And if y'all want to go forward with this, I have no problem suing all of y'all.
And
What's your
that's-
badge number and name again?
Again, it's stages 172.
What's your badge number and name?
Bradley 123.
What's your badge number and
Thomas, 169.
name? Brandon Thomas 169. What's your name?
Sergeant Taylor, 121.
What's
You
your
ha-
first
you're recording
name?
This, right?
I'm recording everything because I'm not playing with y'all. I'm
No,
gonna
it's fine.
hey,
You have all rights
I'm
to
hold up,
record.
but I'm not suing the town. I'm attaching myself to each one of y'all pensions because I'm not playing.
Listen,
Yo,
you have all
I have-
rights to that.
Funny
Yo,
how they
I have a
pretend
law-
qualified immunity doesn't exist, even if, like, it was a situation where they were being shitty, as if it's an easy thing to personally sue an officer while they're working.
For right to travel, and y'all as infringers on my rights. Just because y'all got a procedure. I don't care about your procedure. Your procedure is infringing on people's rights.
Kingsley,
You're gonna learn today.
literally,
If y'all want to do what y'all want to do,
He's gonna tell you to slow down.
just-
Like,
listen,
he
at the-
just-
so get off my fucking street if that's what y'all gonna say, bro.
Right now, you called me down here. Like, right
Yes,
now
I
we
called
have
you
to
down
resolve this
because
stuff.
it's your responsibility to
It is.
teach your officers the law,
It
not
is.
legalities.
It is.
You work for the town of Windsor.
do.
Exactly. I'm an American, not a U.S. citizen.
Okay,
A
but
U.S.
with the
citizen.
law, you have to also abide by the
So funny to me that they think citizens have fewer rights than a non-citizen.
Hold up.
rules and
Backwards world.
regulations.
Hold up. Rules and regulations are not the law.
All right, you
I
have
go
to
by
abide
the law.
You have
That's
to
why I
abide by
have
the
the
law.
right to travel.
You have
Right?
to abide by the law.
I have the right to travel.
You have
Am
right
I
to
okay?
travel
Am
in
I
a
okay or
legally-
am I not?
in a legal vehicle?
Am I okay or am I not?
You called me.
I'm
down here
on my
trying to
pro-
figure out
hold
what
on, hold on.
happened.
I'm on my
As soon as I got
property
here-
though.
As soon as I got here, you were up and down.
Hold on. I'm talking to her. She's a sergeant. If you got something to say,
I do got something to say.
all right, go ahead.
You ready? He has a legal right to stop you. Okay?
Legal?
A legal right to stop you.
Lawful? I love when they get into the discussions about legal versus lawful. Just a big semantic pissing game. I love it.
There's no such thing. I'm not a
There is.
corporation. Legality's got to do with corporations. I'm a man.
I'm gonna tell you
Say
right
it
now.
again. Say it
I'm
again.
gonna tell you right now what's gonna happen. You can either give him your ID and he can handle his business and we can be gone and out of here, okay? Or you can keep doing this, which is interfering, and you're gonna be arrested and you're gonna go to the police station. Which way do you want
You're
to
gonna get a lawsuit attached to your pension.
That's fine.
What's your
Got
name
him.
and badge number again?
Officer Brandley, 123.
All right.
So he didn't give you his ID yet.
Why would I give him my ID?
Or his
I'm trying to
insurance.
figure out what's going on.
Why would I give him my ID?
Because
I need your registration. and
What's
insurance,
the
too.
what?
I told you that.
Over.
What's the RAS? What's the reasonable articulate suspicion of a crime?
Arrest?
Trailed off on the articulable, huh?
RAS.
Your
That
car
car
was
doesn't
not.
belong
It's
on
a
that.
misshoot.
It's a what?
Car
I have
does
the
not
title.
belong to
Do you
the
need the
plate,
title?
But it doesn't belong to the plate.
It doesn't
The plate is
matter.
not
Do you
registered
need the
yet.
title?
Does matter.
Yes,
Do you
it
need
does
the
matter.
title?
You didn't say for the record, that's why it isn't working. There you go.
All right.
It does matter.
Gotta get the magic words exactly right.
So if you want to go for that, then
Hey, are
Listen,
you
I'm gonna give you one more chance. Just give me your license, your registration, and insurance, and we'll get out of here. Or if not, that's your choice. You don't have to.
the only
You're-
thing I'll
you're,
give you is my license if
listen,
that's
let
what
me
y'all want to
finish
go
talking.
for.
You're a
Oh,
US
that's
citizen, wherever.
it's okay with the
whatever you
license,
are.
right?
We can have your license.
You just fucked up again. Because you're asking for the license. I'm not giving you none of
Registration
that.
and insurance. I already told you that.
I'm not giving you none of that, bro. If y'all really want to take me to jail for that, y'all all gonna get sued personally. I just gave y'all a notice. That's notice.
All right, so what are we doing? Are you gonna give us the information we need so we can get off
What
the line?
information?
The license, registration, insurance.
For what reason?
All right,
Why would I
It
register
was
my?
a legal stop.
What's a legal stop?
The stop that Officer Thomas conducted.
How?
You don't. The plate does not match the vehicle. You have. To
I
have-
just told you I bought the
have a
car with the
registered
plate. I just told you I bought the
But
car
you
with the
can't
plate.
drive it like that. You have to register.
I'm not driving. I just told you all that. How many times?
Driving is the same thing.
No
You were
such
on
thing.
You were on the state and the
I
town
guess
roads.
we got to deal with the judge then.
Okay.
Because you tell.
I mean, yeah.
No, hold up. I got my license. I got my license.
It was in that moment that he knew he had fucked up. We gotta ask the judge then, alright! They all descend immediately. Good comedic timing.
Too late for
Hold
that.
up.
Listen. We're not about to try to just. If you want to do all that, just.
Gonna guess he went to jail. Okay, let's see what is next. Oh, the opening to this just cracked me up. Because it's a little cringe, frankly. But I'm gonna play it. I had to see this, so now you have to too.
I'm afraid that the Bad Wolves channel has been taken over. And from here on out, we're gonna re-educate you to the system, our way of doing commerce. Have no fear. The bad wolf is near. Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. Maybe it's time we take it off. What's going on, guys? It's the bad wolf, the madman himself. If you know, you know. Remember the 5th of November. What's going on, guys? It's the Bad Wolf, as always, otherwise known as the Man in Black, the Madman, the International Man of Mysteries, the Werewolf himself, Dame T, or the Lord of Lovitica. However it works for you, works for me. All right, so as always, we got to provide a little bit of commentary, a little bit of shenanigans, a little bit of craziness and zaniness. Why? Because you take life too serious. Why so serious? Then you will have lost the beauty in it.
I'm really trying to get that past that cringe thing where it's like, hey, if it's not hurting anyone, you shouldn't cringe at it. But oh boy, he's quoted Heath Ledger's Joker twice now, really badly, and it's a struggle. I'm struggling.
So you have to laugh every once in a while and have a little bit of fun. As always, guys, you can find more of my information on Blackside 32. You can find information on doing consults and discounts and services and things that can help you guys, whether it's rent or food programs, whatever. And that's why I really make all these videos. So, other than the theatrics there, we are going to be talking about being denied. Oh, this is a good one. So here's the thing, guys.
This guy's like a sovereign citizen guru, basically. He's just a person who goes around and tells them, here's all the paperwork you need to file to get your independence, but none of it's real. I only wanted to show the clip of him in the mask because it was kind of silly. Oh, guess who's back? Back again. JD's back. Tell a friend. Glenn is back doing his thing again. I guess he's not afraid anymore. Rachology says, as someone who comes from a country where we ritually burn Guy Fawkes every year, I still think the dude's memory deserves more respect than this. He's back to going into post offices.
No, you can go ahead.
Isn't he legally supposed to be not doing this? I think his probation's over. I think whatever kept him from doing it is now over. He can do whatever he wants. He had probation, I think. I don't think he had a restraining order or anything. Could be wrong, though. This Poster 7, they're obsessed with Poster 7.
Have you ever put your keys in the mailbox? You don't want to do that. Putting your keys in the mailbox, that's the worst.
I don't think I've done that one yet.
I have done that.
Have you done that?
Yes,
oh, wow.
And it is terrible because, well, I mean,
A video of people at the post office.
I just have a documentary I want to do, and it's kind of my business, honestly.
That's mine too, right? I'm in your video, so I...
Well, it's not your business. I mean, you have nothing to do with it.
You are videotaping me right now.
If I'm a videographer and you're just some person coming in here, how is it your business?
Are you videotaping me right now?
What do you think?
Yes.
What do you think this is?
Are you videotaping me right now?
You think it's a thermometer?
You're gonna guess Coach Red Bill was back? Sorry, that peaked the microphone.
I mean, what do
Do
you
you know how to say yes or no?
I don't need to answer you. I
don't need
I
to.
don't work for you. I don't know you.
You're correct. You're correct about all that. Normal people would answer somebody else's question.
But I'm not obligated to you, right?
Correct.
You don't write my paycheck, right?
Correct. And I'm not the authorities. I'm not the police.
Right.
I'm asking you, are you videotaping me?
What do you think?
I think yes, I've answered that one.
You probably answered your own question then.
So why don't you tell me what you're doing?
I don't need to. It's not my...
So you have a really sort of like one little circuit in the brain.
No.
Keeps going around. I know you don't need to. I just asked as a courtesy, since you're here videotaping everybody, whether you might tell us why you're videotaping us. Do you want to do that? Or
Not really, no.
Okay.
Personal. Yeah.
He's such an asshole.
What's your name?
Big Dick Energy says Glenn right now. And there's a link.
I'm not afraid anymore.
What is that a clip from? I'm not afraid anymore. I love that, and I need it. What is that from?
I'm not afraid anymore.
What's your name?
My name is Douglas Ross. What's your name?
Douglas Ross. That
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah. Do you have a name?
I don't have a name, no.
Okay.
That sounds like a pretty common name. Douglas Ross. Ross, for sure.
It's not uncommon, but that's not the issue.
You work for LL Bean?
Do you work for Home Depot?
Maybe. I could be.
You're a bit of a nut.
I could be a manager there.
Is that what's going on?
It could be.
And so what's that got to do with the post office?
It might not have nothing to do with the post office. You're the one putting these puzzle pieces together, not me. I'm just trying to.
You're just trying to videotape people in the public post office and not explain what you're doing.
I don't have to. It's not my job to explain. I don't work for you, right? Like if you wrote my check.
Oh, you're right. It is Donnie Darko. It's part of the program that Patrick Swayze's character runs that Donnie thinks is bullshit. Yep, I remember. Discordant Full, thanks for 34 months, says, hello, been a while. It has. How you been?
I think we've already established you don't work for me.
Right. So why would I tell you what I'm doing here?
Because you're a normal human being who might tell someone else what you're up to, but you're not doing that.
Right. You could say anyone's not normal. I mean, anyone could say that, right? Like, I could say you're not normal the way you're dressed, you know?
It is Glenn, yeah. He's back.
You understand we're in public, right? We're in a public building, right?
Yeah, we're not agreeing to be filmed.
I don't need your permission. I don't need your consent to be filmed.
If you're trying to make money off of us, yeah, you do.
How am I, what can I do to make money off you?
Who knows?
What do you think I'm doing? Like,
You're posting these videos to YouTube, as you generally do.
no, I'm not live streaming.
Well, thanks, but why should I believe you?
I don't need to prove anything to you. I don't know why you are even worried about what I'm doing.
Because it's rude. It's rude. You're selfishly making everyone's visit to the post office more.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
None of us want to deal with you when we come to the post office doing this.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about is everyone's basic right to have a nice day. A nice day. And you're making that harder for all of us.
How am I ruining your day? You've engaged me. You're talking to me.
Ruin my day.
You've claimed that I'm giving you a bad day, right?
You're making it worse. You can't ruin it.
I don't think I'm making anything worse. I think you're paranoid.
It doesn't matter.
Why not go about your day and go about your own business and stop worrying about what other people are doing, and maybe you can have a successful life.
What's wrong with you?
Whoever that man is, you're a hero. That delivery on what's wrong with you was just so real. That was such a real... That was like the platonic ideal of someone telling someone out of line, what's wrong with you? That was guttural. That was beautiful. I love it.
And maybe you can have a successful life.
What's wrong with you?
This is what I do this show for! Is to find real little moments. Real life. What's wrong with you? Discordant Bull says you got all day? Cause it's a lot.
and maybe you can have a successful life.
What's wrong with you?
This man is a hero. Wherever he is, I hope he's having a great day. What a funny guy. What's wrong with you? Oh.
Well...
Not to my knowledge, Italian Shakespeare. Not to my knowledge. I don't know, though.
Near you, so that could be...
He was at some point, I thought. Recently, I saw him in a hotel because he was visiting Chile. I don't know.
My problem.
Ashley One Up says, just stumbled across this, Hannah. Is this your ideal setup? Let's see what it is and find out. Ooh, that's very cool. Yeah, I like steampunky things like that. That's very cool. My keyboard is like a steampunk thing that looks like a typewriter keyboard, so that's cool. Yeah. Not sure if anything else happens throughout the rest of this. Not much, if I remember correctly. Little corgi. Pretty cute. So yeah, Glenn's back. We'll see if he gets arrested again, because I can't imagine he's gonna go very long without getting into some sort of bullshit. So, anyway. Let's check out the cat video, see her in court.
Government can't go bankrupt.
They do not.
We watched a little bit of this the other day, but I saved it for a time when we can watch the whole thing, which is now. So let's check it out.
I have it, but there you go. So here we go.
Investments LLC versus Kathy Spinda. That is cause number 24-2008003-03. We have Ms. Lindbergh present in the courtroom representing the plaintiff. We have Kathy.
Turn this up pretty quiet.
Spinda hearing via WebEx. And I did have an opportunity to review all of the submissions in this matter, including Ms. Spinda's answer. So I will defer to you, Ms. Lindbergh. Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, my client is present on WebEx. Thank you. Under the name Jared Fielding. This matter is on today for a show cause hearing. This property was subject to a trustee sale, with plaintiff purchasing the property and obtaining the deed on April 8th. And this property is located here in Benton County, so venue and jurisdiction are appropriate. The defendant was provided notice pursuant to RCW 61-24060, indicating the plaintiff was now the purchaser of the property, and that on the 20th day following the trustee sale, the plaintiff is entitled to possession.
This the lady that lost her car and house because she decided to stop paying, correct? Correct. She, through sovereign citizen stuff, decided money wasn't real, and therefore she doesn't have to pay her mortgage or car payment. She was wrong, her car was taken away, and now this court hearing is over the home situation in which her home was auctioned off to a man also on screen by the name of Gerald Fielding. Feel bad for this guy. He bought it in an auction and now has to deal with Kat, who doesn't understand that he rightfully bought it after she relinquished the rights to the property after refusing to pay the mortgage.
Has failed to vacate the property. A unlawful detainer action was started by former counsel, and that was personally served upon the defendant on April 20th of 2024. Plaintiff has set this matter for a show cause hearing, and proper notice was provided to the defendant pursuant to the proof of service on record. Defendant has filed an answer to an unlawful detainer, as well as an answer to the show cause with a counterclaim attached to it. And RCW 5912 dictates that these are summary proceedings. The case law dictates that counterclaims cannot be considered. This court
Kat put this graphic up that says codes are for a corporation. No. Not we the people. There's no contract between we the people and these codes. We have been duped. In the meantime, they're hurting the people in this slavery system. No, laws and stuff apply to whatever they apply to. as stated in said laws and codes.
Lack subject matter jurisdiction to consider claims that are not related to the actual possession of this home. And so we would ask that that not be considered today. The defendant has filed this counterclaim not in this matter, but as a civil case. So moving forward today does not prejudice her from having those claims heard by a civil judicial officer outside of the summary proceedings today. She'll be able to have those claims heard on a different docket. We are here today because my client has yet to gain possession of this property since purchasing it.
Did Kat edit the still image over his video feed? Yes, that is my understanding.
He is losing money every single day.
So, like, I think he is actually in the box there. It's just that she covered him with that image with the toilet and everything because she's being petty.
That the defendant remains in the property. We have substantial attorney's fees here in the amount of $2,005.83. We have costs in the amount of $419.85. These damages were incurred prior to receiving a very lengthy response from the defendant, and the longer this matter goes, the more costs are incurred for my client. We're asking the court today to enter a writ of restitution with judgment findings and judgment language, and also my client is reserving.
Yeah, this does suck for the Jared guy. He's having to pay a bunch of legal fees because Kat's nuts and doesn't understand the consequences of her own actions. Flow Artifact Armory with a $2 super chat says parasocial fist bump. Thanks for all the laughs. No problem. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Any physical damage that may be caused in retaliation for this action to pursue that at a future date. All right, thank you. Mrs. Spinda.
Yes, I am Kat Spinda. This is my land that I have a allodial title on.
Allodial title, I'll remind you, is basically just a piece of paper that says, like, I own this piece of land at these coordinates forever and ever, and no government can ever stop me. It's mine. It's a nonsense document. Sovereign citizens just write it and think just writing it means it's valid and it's real and it counts.
The defendant, Jared, he had not rebutted my affidavit. I had sent him a notice of liability. And at this time, I choose to remain silent other than the challenging of the jurisdiction, which I requested. We cannot presume or assume jurisdiction. It must be proven in writing. And so therefore, I'm asking for that today.
Great, she's doing the jurisdiction thing. We see that all the time.
Although I've been railroaded in this system, and there has been no justice in this system from the very beginning, and everything that I have put forward has been completely ignored. And so I just wanted to put all of that on there for the record. The counterclaim is to protect myself, my family, and my animals from harm because of trespass and fraud. And so therefore, I have all the answers for you there. I trust that you went through all of it. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, the judge. I didn't hear the name.
The judge! I didn't get your name, the judge! It's probably not how you want to refer to the judge. Dillis Filler says it's obnoxious that she says slavery system for a number of reasons, not the least of which of how awful chattel slavery was, but also because slave owners were also beholden to the law. We fought a war about them following the law. Oh. Thank you, Baha.
Commissioner Megan Whitmire.
Megan Whitmire, okay. Okay. So I entered everything in for the record. And I will let that stand, and I choose at this point to remain silent. And
that'll go well for you.
Except for the fact that jurisdiction needs to be...
I know you're taking my house, but, like, what if I just shut the fuck up and don't offer any sort of legal argument? There's nothing she can do, really, at this point. Like, she did what she did. But still, she's not even trying?
Proved I am a living woman. I'm not a corporation that they are going after. And Oxeth Investments is a corporation. Only a corporation can go after a corporation.
They're not claiming you're a corporation.
And I am a living woman. And so therefore the counterclaim is actually against Jared Fielding directly for harming me and my family and moving forward, even though He was provided all the proof and evidence beforehand, but he just ignored it. So I'm hoping today that I will not be ignored and that I motion that this case be dismissed without prejudice and allow my counterclaim to go through to prove the fraud so that we are not kicked out of our home, because there is fraud.
Denied. Denied. Denied.
And so I leave it to you.
Thank you. Well, I do, as an initial matter, find that the court does have jurisdiction over this matter. It has to do with possession of property located in Benton County, Washington. I also find that as it currently sits.
Yeah, she asked for without prejudice, which you think she would ask for with prejudice, so the motion or the action can't be brought against her again. Not sure why she did that.
Legally is the plaintiff that has legal right to possession of the property. So
I would like to get jurisdiction in writing. You cannot presume it. I must be able to get that in writing, and I...
Okay, ask for this ruling in writing. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Provided all the case law to...
I thought you said you were going to remain silent, Kat.
Prove that.
You've made your record. Thank you. And you do have the ability to request appeal or revision of my decision.
So now that you've seen this and you saw that she ignored everything, and let me tell you, I put...
She didn't ignore everything. She ruled. You just don't like the ruling she made.
In all of my proof, exhibits A through P, my counterclaim. The counterclaim shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if there's fraud going on. It shouldn't matter if they're stealing from the people, if there's crimes against humanity. Megan, you don't care. You know, sometimes I think I'm just too nice.
Megan.
I'm trying to be nice here, okay? I'm trying to talk to people on a level that they would understand. But, you know, these black robes, they don't work for us. And I bet you Megan doesn't even have an oath of office, just like Joseph Burrows doesn't have an oath of office. But we're going to do a request anyway. We're going to start really digging into these people who keep abetting in fraud. So we can add now Megan to the list of abetting in fraud. So
going the chili route and trying to get people to harass the judges. Good call. Radiology says, Sopsit question, can you still be the living man if you're a girl and dead inside? Asking for myself.
That's
you can be the unliving lady. How about that?
The way I look at it, they all protect the banks and the corporations. Folks, this is an emergency. And so if you're wondering or thinking what's going on, what's going to happen to Kat and her family and her animals? Well, the way it looks right now, they're just moving right along and they don't care whether there's fraud or not. In fact,
Kat, there isn't fraud. That's what you don't get. There isn't. You have not provided any evidence that there is, and the stuff that you've provided that you think is evidence has been looked at, and you are wrong. You are wrong. You have ruined your life over nonsense. I don't even expect her to accept that, because how could you ever accept that you'd ruin your own life over abject nonsense? Like, how could you psychologically even accept and take that? I don't know. I just don't know what she's gonna do. Finnikagami says, Sopsits are always so certain that they're in the right that they assume that a decision they don't agree with means that the authority figure ignored them. Yep.
They know. They know because I've already showed it to them, and she said she read through all of it. So she saw all of my proof. The proof that the banks provided nothing, that I was frauded. I provided all of it, just like...
The banks provided the money to buy the house! How do you think you had a house you were living in, Kat? Where do you think the house came from?
I've showed all of you. But see, the truth doesn't matter in court. As we continue to march in the truth, this is what I want to share with you. The truth wins no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter what they do or what they think they're going to do, and driving around in their helicopters and everything.
Oh boy. Phyllis Filler says, show us on the straw man where they committed crimes against humanity against you, Kat.
Driving by, you know, all the NPCs are closing in. But I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to sweat or worry Shed one tear. Ask me if I shed a tear. Nope, no tears. This is serious. This is very serious. What's happening in the courtrooms with me, with Trump, and all of the people that I know that are getting their cars stolen from, their children stolen from, their homes, their boats stolen from.
Not their
We're gonna have to
boats.
start looking at some of this from maybe a different angle. And we now call upon the military to do their job and to.
Hey, fun fact, the military's job isn't to carry out your own personal political agenda. Cool beans.
Step in, because I have proven, and you can clearly see, that they do not work for us, that they're going to adjudicate against the people no matter what. It does not matter what the truth is.
Or you're just wrong. Or you're just wrong.
So let me know what you think. Put your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Miss Whitmire and her ruling, even though I have a Lodial title, even though I am the owner or superior title holder of my land. And it will be my land forevermore until I pass it on to my family, or when I decide to transfer it to somebody else, because we can't own land. God is the one who created it. And
you just said it's yours, though. What do you mean?
For us, so that we could have wonderful, prosperous lives, enriching lives. But they're trying to steal it all away, and you can tell by all of the taxes, everything going up. You're seeing more police on the street. They're getting more narky. You're even seeing the malls now with mall cops. Way more mall cops now than ever before. So it's even the toys at the mall that I is here, the Columbia Center Mall. All the toys that used to be like a horse and a buggy and an elephant.
I remember this part. We watched this part.
Now it's a cop car and a helicopter and it's all of these response unit type of vehicles. Well, it's the programming. See, it went from this to that, and here we go. So anyways,
Peoplord says this is just Kat practicing her nonsense rambling. She's gonna be the #1 crazy. That hurts. I don't like that Kat's losing her home, but she's literally refusing to pay her bills when she could. She's choosing not to. I don't get it. Makes me sad. This one's an older one, but it's interesting. Pinikagami says, speaking of boats, did anyone see Adam Something's new video about the disaster that was Crypto Bros' attempt to seastead using a yacht? There's so much regulation and maintenance required. Why would you ever own a boat? I don't know. Boats have never been a big thing for me. I'm not a boat person. I'll go on a boat if someone has a boat, but I would never want a boat.
Morning.
How can I help you, sir?
Gonzalez, need your driver's license and your insurance card, please.
Is there a problem I can help you with?
Yes, sir. I need your driver's license and your insurance card.
Do you need some assistance?
Excuse me?
Do you need some assistance with something?
No, you're being stopped.
For what crime, sir?
For your registration being expired.
Is that a crime, sir?
Excuse me?
Is that a crime?
No, it's a violation. It's a violation of the traffic code, sir. At this time, I'm needing to see your driver's license and your insurance card.
I'm not driving.
Okay. You were when I observed you, sir.
No, I was traveling, sir.
Okay. I understand that.
I'm traveling. I'm a lawful traveler.
Your driver's license and your insurance card.
Well, for the record,
what's that lady's name? Kat Aspinda?
I'm not driving.
C-A-T-C or K-A-T Aspinda? Discordant Vole says, a player in my D&D game has a noble title that for expediency required her to be registered as a boat. Pretty funny.
I'm not in a commercial. I'm not in a commercial capacity, sir.
Sir, what is your name?
Am I being detained for a crime, sir?
What is your quest, sir?
Detained for a traffic violation, sir.
Did somebody report me for something?
Sir, I observed the violation, sir.
Is there a damaged property, sir?
Sir, right now you're being detained. And by the Texas code, you are obligated to identify yourself. Okay, I asked for your driver's license. Apparently you're not giving it to me, so I'm asking for your name and your date of birth.
But a no? I'm just hearing silence.
What's your name and date of birth?
Excuse me?
What's your name and date of birth?
My name is Officer Gonzalez.
Officer Gonzalez, where do you work for?
Okay, sir, I need to see your driver's license and your insurance card, or I need you to provide me your name and your date of birth.
Who do you work for? The police! He clearly works for the police!
Officer, I informed you I'm not driving.
Okay, and I told you you were correct. You are currently stopped.
I'm traveling.
You were observed traveling down the roadway.
Traveling.
And I observed a violation of the traffic code.
Did you know driving is a technical term, sir?
Okay.
Jesus fuck. His coordinate Vol says it was a setup so that an avatar of a fledgling sea deity could potentially control her turns by accident because they were trying to control the boat they were on.
That's correct, sir.
It's a legal
It's a technical
term.
You were
It's
traveling
a
down the
legal
roadway.
term.
You were traveling down the roadway and you were observed with a traffic violation.
Well, driving is a commercial capacity, sir. Sir, I do
right
not.
now you are being detained for a traffic violation.
I'm trying to.
Being detained, you are obligated to identify yourself. I've asked you for your driver's license. You are not providing it to me. I am now asking you for your name.
Any chilly news? He's put out another couple of updates. I listened to him. Nothing worth reporting on, really. He's still just pissy. He got moved to a different wing while they do some cleaning, I think. He was bitching about that. That's about it.
Your date of birth.
Otherwise, he's
I don't
still
mean
doing
to
the same stuff.
upset you at all, officer. I'm just having a conversation with you.
I understand that, sir, and I'm trying to obtain some information so we can both be done and go about our way.
Correct. Yeah, I would like to do this honorably, sir.
Okay.
And honorably.
Could you possibly roll down your window for me?
This is as far as it goes down, sir.
All right, then bear with me a second. Let me take off my helmet, okay, because I can barely hear you.
Okay, that's fine, sir.
If you would please get your information so we could get done with this, it'd be great.
Yeah, we're working on that, sir. I mean, I just want to do this. I don't want to be in dishonor, because I don't want to tell you I'm driving when I'm not.
Okay.
And
but like you said, driving is a technical term.
For a commercial capacity, sir.
Okay, and I understand you're in transit. I understand all of that.
Well, I'm an individual traveling to a
that.
destination. I have no goods or services for hire.
Okay, I understand
I have
that.
no passengers for
that.
hire, and so I'm not driving right now.
Okay.
I'm traveling.
You were traveling on the roadway when I observed the violation of the Texas traffic code.
Well, right. Traffic code goes for drivers who are in a commercial capacity.
Anybody who's operating a vehicle, which you were operating.
But I'm not an operator right now, sir.
You were operating a vehicle. You were traveling.
You trying to claim that operator has a specific legal definition?
Okay, sir. I need to see your identification, or I need you to provide me.
If I could.
Let me go put my helmet down.
Sure.
One time when you came to pick up your daughter early and the SRO came up to my car and asked, "Can I help you?" Without thinking, I replied, "No, I'm good, thanks." Watching his brain reboot was delightful. It's pretty funny. Were you immediately like, "Oh, wait, sorry. I'm picking up my daughter, I'm not a weirdo."
If you'd give me I don't know, 90 seconds, I could prove to you that I'm an individual, not a corporation.
Okay, I understand, but as an individual, again, like I told you, you've been detained.
Well, I know, sir. For a code.
What is your name, sir?
For a code. If I've committed a crime.
Is this your vehicle?
I own this conveyance.
Okay, so it's registered to you.
Yeah, I own it.
Okay.
I own the conveyance.
What is your name?
Well,
you asked me my name. I provided that to you.
My name is Lehman of the Clan Lehman.
Lehman?
Lehman of the Clan Lehman.
Of
yes.
the clan?
Lehman of the Clan Lehman.
Lehman, yes.
Clanly?
Clan.
Clan.
Clan, like a community.
Okay, so you're a layman of the clan.
No, not the.
He said Kleeman of the Clan Kleeman. Or Lehman of the Clan Lehman.
Clan, but a clan.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, Lehman of the yeah.
And that is the name on your birth certificate.
Well.
Well.
That's a little different there, because
I was going to write you a check for $1 million. What name would you want on that? What would you need to identify yourself to?
Well, on the
cash
birth
that check?
certificate, that's not my name on my birth certificate because I didn't give that to myself.
What is the name on your birth certificate?
That was given to me. It's not my name.
Okay, sir. You understand that aside of the reason for the stop, you are now being detained for that reason. Okay.
I know, but
and while you're being detained, you are obligated. When an officer asks you for your name, asks you for your identification, you are obligated to identify yourself.
if I'm being detained for a crime, a crime would be.
Failure to identify yourself is a crime in and of itself.
No, it's actually not.
It is, because you're being detained
No, it's not. He just says no.
for a traffic offense. So I'm lawfully detaining you.
If I was in commercial
Sir,
capacity.
I'm not gonna sit here and argue all day
No, I don't
long.
want to argue. Can I?
I don't want to argue. I just want you to agree with me and let me go. So let me go.
Remove you from the vehicle and identify you.
Well, that would be very bad for everybody.
Yes, it would.
And
we're trying to handle this as civilly as possible.
So there's no indicator when you pulled me over that this would be bad for everybody.
Why didn't you warn me this would be bad for me?
No, I mean as far as the red dot goes.
Sir? As far as what?
Yeah, the term, the red dot.
I'm sorry.
You don't know that term?
I didn't hear you.
The red dot?
The red dot?
Yeah.
H-Beard says, Officer, I must cite the case of nah versus
No, I'm not familiar with this term.
Okay.
I don't know what he's referring to with the red dot thing.
Well, look, I don't want this to escalate anything where everyone's upset and, we're breaking more laws and there's...
Oh, are we in the bargaining phase? Look, I don't want to... The negotiator.
Court cases.
Benekagami says, clans are families, not communities, not necessarily blood families. But every function I've heard of the use of clan has been some sort of family context. Family just has different roles in different cultures.
And whatnot. So, if you're adamant about forcing me to present to you a driver's license, when I am not driving, I will present that to you, sir.
Well, I'd like you to present me your driver's license. The other option was for you to provide me your name and your date of birth.
Well, I'll present to you whichever you want. Which one do you want?
Okay. I'd like to see the driver's license. It's easier. I can scan it and it saves us both.
Now, as long as you acknowledge that I have told you I'm not driving.
Okay. Then, like we agreed, driving is a technical term. You were in transit when I observed the violation.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay. There's no goods and services for hire here, and you acknowledge that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I only present this because it's become an issue.
Okay, just assume it's always an issue. Just assume it's always an issue and give it to him. What are you doing?
Officer, again, I'm letting you know this is
We have to renegotiate the social contract in every single situation. Could you imagine how arduous life would be if every situation you had to re-navigate basic social functions? That's what sovereign citizens are doing in one specific instance, and it's interactions with the cops. Like, imagine if you did this at the grocery store. Like, you go to the grocery store and you're in line, and they're like, all right, paper or plastic, and you're like, I refuse to answer that question. What situation do you think you're in right now? There are scripts! Follow the script!
In a commercial capacity, this is what I would use this for. But again, I'm not in a commercial capacity.
Dillis Filler says, new idea for cops to reset the Sovset brains. If you're not traveling for commerce, explain why you're using fuel you paid for and how you're going to buy fuel again. That would be pretty funny.
You can cancel anybody else.
I'm not shopping, I'm purchasing.
So, when people speak to you, do they call you Lehman, or do they call you Darren, or do they call you Ryan?
It just depends. Everyone kind of calls me something
How would
different.
you like me to acknowledge you, sir?
You could call me, King Lehman.
To be called King! I love it. Radiology says having to relearn basic social navigations each time. In fairness, that's also me and my socially anxious brain every time I go out. I feel that.
King Lehman?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Lehman used to live on 23rd Street?
You can use that address, yes.
You can use that address. That's not what he asked, was it? That's not what he asked.
So do you work for a company? Are you self-employed?
Right now I'm self-employed.
Okay.
If you're not driving commercially, why is your car covered in Nissan logos? Checkmate.
You have a contact phone number?
Sure, you can use 512-696.
Fret not, they're just bored. It's lunchtime, actually.
Yeah, I know. You guys were doing your jobs.
Now, is the window broken, or you just don't want to roll it down all the way?
It just doesn't go down much further.
Okay. By choice or by mechanical failure?
Little both.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lehman, what's going to happen is you're going to receive a citation for the expired registration. Would you like to sign for it, or you want me to just put refused on there?
Yeah, I would not like to sign that.
You don't want to sign for it? No. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write refused right on there, okay?
Okay.
Give me just a second. I'll be right back with your copy of the citation.
Right.
So funny when they think that refusing to sign means anything.
Court on or before the due date, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. We're good.
All right.
All right.
Thank you much.
Drive safe.
Gonna let him drive away with the expired registration. I don't think he should, considering he's doing this opposite thing. If it's a situation where you pull someone over and they're like, hey, sorry, I've been broke, I'm planning to get it, I totally understand letting them go. In fact, I hope they do. But, like, the Sobsit doesn't intend on ever repaying for that, so doesn't seem good.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one.
Oh, he's got a whole accordion folder full of bullshit documents.
Like the car.
You want me to hold on to this, or do you want this back?
If you want to, you can fill it out and give it to me.
I can't hear you, man.
Can you fill it out? I love when they give the cops documents to fill out. Like homework.
If you can sign it and fill it out since you're detaining me. Well, I mean, if you're detaining me, you gotta do it.
Could you turn that radio off?
Like, I'm informing you too. Like just what you're informing me, I'm informing you.
Go, go. God damn it. It's gonna be stuck in my head now.
For my safety, I'm not gonna do it right here, right now, then. I can barely see through your thing, so.
Well, do you have a reason to believe that I'm... Do you have a reason to...
All the things that I... God damn it! We're so, but thanks for gifting a sub!
See through my tent?
It's the first gift sub of the month, too. Thank you very much.
You have a reason to believe that, like I'm a danger to you or something? I didn't say that. And what are you talking about your safety then?
I just can't see this.
Well, what does that have to do with your safety?
I can't see what's on the other side of this.
You can't see what's on the other side of the wall. That doesn't make you like...
Yeah, so I don't know what's over there, so I don't go over there.
But you walk up to the car? Because you can't...
Force the traffic stop,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Sugar Ray.
But it's your safety, though. Right here, look, it says, I have all the case, I have case law. You guys like case law. The right of a
You guys like case law.
To travel upon a public highway and transport his property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, automobile is not mere privilege which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay, yes, I'm familiar with the court case you're citing, because sovereign citizens incorrectly cite this all the time. First of all, this is a state Supreme Court decision. I forget which state, but if you're not in this state, which chances are you're not relevant. Secondly, this does not say that you don't need driver's licenses. This is a case over whether or not a county sheriff could arbitrarily give people licenses or not. This was before there were standardized driver's license tests in each state. So this county sheriff was giving his friends driver's licenses and not letting other people have them. It might have also been a racial issue where the guy was racist and wasn't giving driver's licenses to non-white people. I don't remember the specifics, but either way, he was being choosy. The state Supreme Court ended up deciding, no, you can't do that. If you're going to require a license to drive, it's a common right. Not in the sense that anyone can do it, but if you're going to require licensing, it has to be a standard test that anyone can take. You can't just say, I like Fred, but I don't like Tom, so Tom doesn't get a driver's license for one reason or another. They both have to have the opportunity to take the same test that allows them to prove that they're capable of driving. That's all that Supreme Court decision was. It didn't say no one needs a driver's license. It says that when you have driver's license requirements, which all 50 states now have, you need to make sure that the test is standardized. Holy crap. Bumble Homestead with 200 bits says, Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini had been stuck in my head since Friday. Thief Lord with 40 bits says, do you like case law? It's queso and coleslaw. I don't like my brain. You know? I feel like you'd hate mine more. It's just that stuff all the time. Nemesaur, thank you for gifting 20 tier 1 subs. Absolutely, just ripping out of the gate this month with a bunch of gift subs. Thank you very much. M. Scheffler with 100 bits says, hype and indeed, 80% to level 4 on a hype train. Hell yeah, thank y'all very much.
Under this constitutional guarantee, one may therefore, under normal conditions, travel at his
Oh, he's got a dog.
Among the public highway.
Are you reading that to me? Sorry, I can barely hear out here. We're in a big street, that's why.
I mean, I'm just reading it.
Oh, okay.
If you want to hear it, I mean, it's good.
It's irrelevant, so I don't really think you need to. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub, 95% to level 4.
No. That way we don't waste both of our time, because you're just wasting.
Someone's time's being wasted. I can agree on that.
You're just wasting. It's a waste of time, and like, traffic stops shouldn't take this long.
I agree. It shouldn't take this long. I wonder what's holding it up.
Especially if I'm not operating a business.
If you don't want to provide your driver's license, do you want to just provide your name, date of birth, so I can just check it?
I'm not going to provide you with something that I'm not. I'm not going to provide you an entity that I'm not. I'm the man right here. You see me? I'm the man.
Sure.
Like that's me. That I can't identify as nothing else because I am me. I'm nothing else.
Okay.
So you want me to identify as something that I'm not,
Nope, they just want you to say your name. There isn't a separate straw man legal identity they're trying to create joinder with. They just want your name so they know it, so they can look up your name. That's it. Discordant Vole says it has to be intentional, right? Animals mean a more inconvenient and involved arrest. I mean, a lot of people just have animals. I don't think it's that deep.
I can't do that.
I just was asking for your name, date of birth.
Yeah, but that's fraud. That's basically fraud. I'm telling you,
not fraud. It's not fraud. Not.
I'm telling you that's
fraud.
Yeah, because you're saying that you want me to say that I'm that entity, which I'm not.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to you?
No.
So, if I give you my driver's license and you say, "Is this you?" How is that me? If I'm looking at you right now, how would that be me?
Because the license says your name and has a picture of you, and it identifies you, the flesh and blood individual. It is an ID that identifies you, the person. Gillis Filler says, the subsidiary is screwing with my gaydar, which is otherwise screaming at me. 99% to level 4 on the hype train.
I would ask if the picture on that driver's license is you. if that's what you're referring to. That's what I would ask you.
But how are you doing business with me?
I'm not doing business.
Yes, how are you creating money out of thin air?
I'm not.
Yes.
He's not?
You are, because you're gonna give me a citation that's gonna go. I have to go pay something. So
That's not money, that's a ticket. You're the one that has to provide the money.
you're trying. You're trying to. That is a normal license plate.
But it's a fix-it ticket.
That is my license.
But Caradona, thanks for gifting a sub and getting us over level 4 of the hype train.
But I'm not operating in commerce in this, and I don't live in the state of California.
Like 2 more cars, man. What was that?
I'm not operating in commerce in California. I'm not in commercial business in California, and I don't live in the state of California. I live in California.
He lives in a state of delusion.
Which is
I know we make variations on that joke a lot, but it always hits, so.
Way different than the
You
state.
live in California, but not in the state of California.
Yes, just like the father of Chris is not the same thing as Chris the father. Like the same thing. Like the father of Chris.
Nope, you can't try and semantics your way out of being in the jurisdiction of the physical location you're in. You can't say that you are in the physical location but not a party to the social contracts that exist within that region. It's not up to you. Peoplelord says, that's not my dad, that's a cell phone, and I threw it on the ground. Caradona, thanks for gifting a sub if I didn't say that. 9% to level 5.
In California, but not in the state of California.
Yes, just like the father of Chris is not the same thing as Chris the father. Like the same thing. Like the father of Chris is not Chris the father. And that's my dad.
Christopher Bay with a $10 super chat says, this guy's dog is thinking I'm not barking, I'm vociferating.
So like state of California is not California. Yeah, my name's Chris. I don't mind telling you my name. My name's Chris.
Right, so California is the geographical location, and the state of California is the state entity that exists that governs that geographical region, and you are a party to the laws there by the nature of power, and the fact that the state of California has entities in the form of state police and local police that also carry out the laws of the state and local area to arrest you and take you into the judicial system by force if necessary. What do you not get? What do you not understand about this? People have power over you. They have power over you. They just do. M. Scheffler says, the picture on the driver's license identifies you. Nobody thinks the license is you. It's not you or your Horcrux.
Chris, hey man, look, I'm not trying to give you a hard time or anything, man. Like,
No, I know.
I gotta enforce the rules of the road.
I'm not giving you a hard time either. I'm not trying to give. I'm just trying I'm just enforcing my duty, my rights.
Okay.
Which I understand. I've done like the research into it. This is not my first time. Like you can watch it on YouTube. Like it's not really like this is normal. Like, and I'm trying to do this.
This is not normal.
I mean, I just want to leave. I want to know if I can go. That's it.
Just asking because you request
Same Phoenix.
the supervisor.
Well, if I'm gonna be here, if you're gonna make me stay here, then
Okay.
I just want to go. Well, am I free to go?
You need to talk to them?
Am I free to go?
I'm asking you a question.
Am I free to go?
Just give me a second. Let me talk to them and then you.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Okay. What can I help you with, sir?
I just want to know if I'm free to go.
I can't hear you.
I just want to know if I'm free to go.
You're not free to go.
Okay. What am I being detained for?
What the officers explained to me is they stopped you for the license plate.
And I explained to them that I don't wish to contract with them, and I don't wish to do business with them. And
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
I told them that I don't want to contract with them, and I don't wish to do business with them, and I'm not giving up any of my rights.
Okay.
Why does the beanie have eyes? It tricks potential predators.
So at that sense that like I've not broken any law, I've not committed any crimes, so there's no reason for me to provide that information that he's asking for.
Well, they have a lawful reason to stop you, and you're required by law to provide your identification to them.
That's a code, though. That's a code. That's a traffic infraction. That's not really a crime. I'm operating in my private capacity. He's operating. You guys are public servants. So there should be no interaction, and there's no reason for him to think I'm operating in commerce because there's no connection to commerce on my vehicle. So
30 seconds left of the hype train.
my thing is there's no reason for this.
So much to unpack here at the side of the road.
Stop. If that's what he's stopping me for, there's no reason for the stop because there's no reason to assume that I'm operating in,
Well,
in,
as a,
in that
as a
capacity.
supervisor walking into this and what the officers explained to me and what I've observed, they do have a lawful reason to stop you and detain you for this, and you are required by law to provide identification. Now, if you disagree with that, that's fine, that's on you. Unfortunately, if you choose to not provide the information, they're going to be forced to take you to a magistrate, which means you'll be placed under arrest and charged with those 2 violations. The other option is...
That's fine. I think...
And just let me finish one
I
second.
went through this. I've already been through this. I'm going to give you guys...
Sorry, there was a hydrate. Didn't mean to do that. Forgot to pull up my channel points. Notifications. Hydrate.
Other option is...
Thank you for the hype train,
identify
everyone.
You, who you are, okay? They write you a citation basically saying, hey, we observed this, it appeared to be a violation of law, and then you're given the opportunity to go before a magistrate and explain your side of the story, and, you know, ultimately the magistrate makes the decision. Our job is simply to enforce the laws as we see, and then a judge is the one that makes the decision in terms of culpability, violations, and things like that. But
Yeah,
you are required to provide them with information.
So it's my duty to enforce my rights, to know my rights and enforce them. At the end of the day, if you guys want to enforce your codes to violate my rights and commit a criminal act at that, by breaking my window and doing whatever you got to do to get me out, then that's... And you guys want to lose your qualified immunity for on that process,
They're not going to lose their qualified immunity. M. Scheffler says, unrelated question, Hannah in chat, I'm about to go to a pride celebration. Is it appropriate for a straight cis person to wear rainbow attire, or is it appropriating a community style? Oh god. Everything's rainbow. I don't think it fucking matters.
I'm okay with
Everything's very rainbowy.
that.
I don't think it matters.
Willing to...
That's my opinion, though. If you're asking for a consensus in the queer community, you're not going to find one, but I think who cares?
I'm willing to sit here and be in my truth, and at the end of the day, I understand the process that goes with, and by all means, like I'm willing to go to the 9th District courthouse and take it all there if I have to. We don't have to do that.
Sir, you can,
I just want to know if I'm free to go. That's it.
You can certainly do that. You're not free to go.
Okay.
So you have kind of 2 options here. You can provide the officers with your identification, allow them to, you know, make their decision in terms of enforcement action.
So what are you arresting me for? If you take me out, what are you arresting me for?
Ultimately, you're going to be placed under arrest for
what?
failing to refuse to sign a ticket. So by signing a citation, and the officers need to identify you.
So that's
okay?
that's
hang on.
That's what I'm
let
being...
me you asked me a question.
I haven't even got a ticket. How are you?
You're not letting me finish.
Phraseology says, wear the rainbows as chat representative. That way we carry on any blame. And Fennikagami says, how long before Republicans start marketing to SOPSITs and somewhat successfully integrate them through shared cult mentalities? Then we have a whole bunch of cases of SOPSITs committing voter fraud because they don't understand ID. I mean, that's a good question. A lot of SOPSIT types are anti-authority in any sense, including organized political parties. So making them consistently vote might be difficult. Not impossible, mind you, but difficult.
Okay, the officers observe a violation. A ticket is basically saying, I observed this violation, and you signing the ticket would say, hey, I'm agreeing to either take care of the ticket or see a magistrate for them to make a decision regarding the violation. If you don't sign the ticket, there's no promise that you're going to appear or answer for the citation, and then our hands are kind of forced. Okay. Ultimately, the last thing that we want to do.
But by definition, so if you're gonna write out the definitions on the ticket of what you, so we have the same, we have the same understanding, I guess, or not understanding. I guess you would say comprehension of what's being discussed on there, like appear.
He's trying to avoid understand.
And what definitions that you're using. That way, because there's no, you want me to sign a contract basically saying, and that's a contract. Anything with my signature is a contract. So
no, everything with your signature is not a contract.
You want me to sign a contract saying I'll appear, and you don't know. First of all, I can't appear anywhere because I'm not an entity to appear. I can't just.
You can appear wherever you are, wherever you go. There you are.
It's like I can't disappear.
Buckaroo Banzai taught me that.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you're asking me to do things.
here.
Yeah, but you're forcing me to. You're trying to force me to fraud, to do fraud basically, and sign something for something that I'm not.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, like you want me to do something that I morally cannot do because that's not me, and I don't wish to contract with you. If you guys are gonna force me to do business with you, basically.
Well, let me try to explain it to you this way from the officer's perspective. They have no idea who you are.
And they're not supposed. They have. But
let me.
At a human
Sir,
perspective.
I need you to let me finish so I can explain to you.
But that makes no sense.
I've been listening to you and trying not to interrupt.
Hey, cruelty.
But every time I'm talking, you're kind of talking over me. So you ask me a question, I'm trying to provide you with the answer. Okay? The officers observed a violation. They have no idea who you are because you're refusing to provide identification. Could be a wanted felon, could have a bunch of other things. Ultimately, they're doing the job that they are supposed to be doing. Their job is to identify you, make a decision on the enforcement action, and they could decide to give you an advisement. They could decide to write you a citation, or, you know, if you have an outstanding warrant or something like that.
Semi-related, did anyone see Trump being interviewed by Tim Pool just before the Libertarian National Convention? He said cops need immunity so we can give them back their dignity. What does that even mean? First of all, their immunity didn't go anywhere. Second of all, what?
You could end up being placed in custody for it. So that's what, and all of this is stopped by you refusing to provide information to them, which you're required to do.
I also could be, but like just like you said, I could have an outstanding. I also could be an outstanding citizen, or what, not a citizen, an outstanding human being, I guess you could say. I could work for the. You don't really know.
Did he just say he's an outstanding human being?
What I could be. So at the same time as you're trying to weigh it out on what, it's always like you don't create a criminal, you find a criminal in the act. What you're telling me is
right, and you were caught in the act of driving without a proper registration.
You're trying to create a criminal by
identifying the infractions you were partaking in.
Not allowing to have my right to privacy, which is my God-given right, and to be private in my papers.
His crystals are so charged.
And even if I were to provide you my name and my information, that's something that's violating my rights again, because that's giving you something that you could use against me in court, which I have the right to not self-incriminate me, I guess you could say. So in that sense, like none of it makes sense to me. Like what you're asking for, I cannot give to you because I don't wish to do business with you, and I don't want to cross that sand of going into commerce with you or going into business with you when I'm okay. I drive down the street plenty of times. I'm sure everybody sees me at night. My car lights up. I've done this plenty of times. I'm not worried in that sense. I will go and whatever you do, like I'm not gonna sit here and fight with you. I'm just gonna I'm gonna stay firm in my square and what I believe now, and respectfully, you know what I mean? Like in honor. I'm gonna stay in honor, and that's at the end of the day. Like the whole time, I'm gonna remain in honor and what I believe and what I know to be the truth.
So ultimately, that decision is yours. But I'm gonna tell you
I'm gonna spoil this for you right now. He gets away. He gets away with it. They do not arrest him. They get a bunch of important calls or something over the radio and let this guy go. Just letting you know. He absolutely gets away after all this shit. And then that's it. He gets a ticket, I think. That's about it.
Consequences of that decision path, okay? And I appreciate the fact that you're being respectful and we're having a conversation. That's what I'm trying to do to you. Ultimately, what is going to happen is, okay, we are going to get you out of the vehicle, and if you refuse to sign the citation, we have no choice but to take you before a magistrate. That is also going to involve us taking custody of your dog and your vehicle and a bunch of other things. You have an opportunity here to identify yourself, let the officer work through their course of investigation, make a decision as to the enforcement action, and then, you know, if you disagree with how things are working out, that's what the judicial process is for.
Yeah,
Speaking to a magistrate and all those things. Ultimately, if you refuse to do that, it's going to inconvenience you in terms of your vehicle will more than likely have to be impounded. Your dog is going to have to be taken care of.
How are you taking stuff that doesn't belong to you, or like how are you stealing everything? Like how are you stealing?
Oh, we're not stealing it. We're taking it into protective custody because you're going to be placed in custody and taken to see a magistrate, and someone has to provide safeguards for your animal and the vehicle as well. Okay.
But it's parked right here. That's perfect. That's why I parked it right here. That way I didn't pull over because I already know the way the whole process is. I always take my car and park it where it's safe. Because of that same where it's not blocking traffic.
The choice is yours, sir. Okay, and if you refuse, I appreciate the fact that you're saying you're not going to be violent or resistive. I mean, that makes me happy. I know you're recording me. I can see your phone. We have 4 cameras on you along with the vehicle and all this contact.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
For a magistrate to make a decision on the matter.
I'm not worried about that.
So,
like, I mean, I'm not in your jurisdiction, and you're not going to force me in your jurisdiction.
You're in the city of Santa Monica in the state of California, and those are within our jurisdiction.
I'm in Santa Monica in California. I'm not in any of the ofs. So, like, at the end of the day, like, if you want to place me under, like, I'm holding my status as a United States of America Republic as a.
The last thing that we want to do is to violate any rights that are afforded to, the people within the territory.
Is he unhoused? Not that I'm aware of, no.
United States. However, these officers are trying to take an enforcement action, okay?
Yeah, but they don't have the right to do that. Like they do. They don't have the right to do that. They don't. Look, I have the whole code right here. I can go through it right here.
Okay, he just goes on rambling for another long time, and the cops leave because they get called away on another call. So, hopefully he learned his lesson, but I don't think he did. I don't imagine he did. The baby with a barcode on its head, but the barcode is also bars of a prison. That's certainly something, isn't it? Good thumbnail.
Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to privatelawtrusts.org monthly mentorship meeting. So I'll do some announcements, and then we'll go through kind of anything that's on your guys' mind, and just want to say a warm hello and welcome to everybody. Let's see who we all have here. So we have Victoria, Elvin, Gary, Roxanne, I believe that's Paul Breyer and William there, so welcome you guys. What I'll do is before I pop off into my announcements and that, is there any questions or updates or anything you guys were wondering? Anything on your mind specifically before I kick things off? No? Okay. If everyone's shy today, that's okay, guys. I appreciate it's a Friday. You probably had a long week in that. So we're starting to work on some exciting things moving forward. So I'm working with Ben. Ben Kuttner, he's an architect out of, I believe he's in Toronto right now, but he has projects in Ottawa and a few other places as well. So we're starting to put
Phoenix Leftist, thanks for 110 stream streak. That's an impressive streak.
Together a team where we'll meet weekly. I
don't even know if I have a 110 stream streak.
Invite you to
Tiasovset lawyer. Oh boy, he runs a sovereign citizen multi-level marketing scheme. This is their monthly meeting. This is Marcel. He's Canadian. He basically runs a whatever you want to call it. He calls it a society. I would maybe call it an illegal scheme to create a network marketing team that tells people that they don't have to pay taxes. It's basically a mix of sovereign citizen, pyramid scheme, tax protester movement, and just other wingnut stuff.
do to those meetings, Roxanne. If
Anti-vax.
you're open to coming. We will be doing
Homophobic. Oh boy, I checked on Marcel's Facebook today, and he did a straight pride post with stick figures of a guy and a lady doing it doggy style. It was his straight pride post. In case you're wondering how Marcel's doing.
Pay for it, and then there's a couple other people that I'm going to invite as well, but they're not on here right now. But Roxanne, I'll talk to you about that next week. But the first meeting for that is next Friday at 5 p.m. Winnipeg time.
I played Signalis. No, I've not.
It's a Zoom call?
Yeah, it'll
meeting,
just be over
Marcel?
Zoom. Yeah, it'll
Okay.
be via Zoom. You betcha.
And next Friday at what time did you say?
It's tentatively at 5 p.m., but there's some wiggle room if that's a little bit too early, depending if you're getting off work or
Sounds
something.
good, Radiology.
It's 5 o'clock your time?
My time.
I'm wrong. He's clearly a judge and we're fucked. True, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Must be true.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, I'm at work.
Okay, no problem. What would be the earliest time you would be available then on a Friday, or is there another day of the week that would be better?
Well, yeah.
The stick figure had boobs. It was stick figure boobs.
Mondays, Wednesdays,
and a ponytail, I think.
and Thursdays. I
Okay.
can make at any time.
Okay, so if we can do it on Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, that's just
Yeah,
okay.
anytime during the day. Yeah.
The only thing is his schedule, he's always available after, I believe it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it would probably be in the evening either way. Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll talk to him and I'll bounce it off of him, and then I'll
Good
see
to
what
know, Discordant Full.
his tentative timeline is within that. And basically we have most of the technical stuff covered. I just like some help formatting our letters so that they look credible and professional, and because we're noticing mayors and different things, and it's just important that it just comes across looking
Don't you do them? Sounds like a you problem. Why aren't you paying for an editor? You already have these people doing sales for you on commission. You want them to do extra work for free? They're already paying you a monthly fee.
instead of just some stuff that I slap on a page that looks ugly. So that's kind of what I have in
Were they big boobs? I don't remember. They were boobs.
mind.
What do you consider big?
Is we'll kind of help coordinate things, and then if you can just help me
Bigger than mine, relative to my body.
with the
If that helps.
physical templating of
Sure.
what we're issuing, so I don't look dumb.
Yeah,
Not that I look dumb
sure.
either way.
Sounds
but yeah. Okay.
sounds good.
Perfect, great. And the projects that we're working on with that is actually using the claim of right process to claim land under Indigenous law, and then using the Indigenous claim of right, which is the paperwork that we have, to actually transfer a building from an existing property where he doesn't own the land onto the property that he's using claim of right to, and having the mayor and different politicians recognize it as he's doing it, because he's been an architect for so long. He has a lot of really good relationships. So as we're able to succeed on this project, it's going to prove completely how to use Indigenous private common law to circumvent any legal claim to your property. And when we succeed with him and doing it for those projects, we can then use that as the template to bring to normal moms and dads. Anyone who's a property owner should be able to use the exact same process to move their homes into the private. And then yeah, so it's super exciting. And there's an island that we're going to be doing, like green burials and just a whole bunch of different stuff. And then I'm also teaming up with some people in the States for some other projects, but that's a whole nother ball.
Oh, he's gonna take some of his crimes internationally. That's good. That's good. That'll work well for him.
And how are you doing, Roxanne? How's life?
You've never had your boobs measured? Me either. I don't have a single bra that fits correctly. I really need to do that at some point.
I'm doing well. Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually joined with Cal Washington's notice of liabilities for the
Nice.
geoengineering across Saskatchewan. So I'm really focusing on that right now. So
Beautiful, fantastic. That's excellent. Right on. Yeah, he's a good guy. He does definitely some good work in that. So I'm excited that you're working with him. That's great.
People Lord says, I had an experience the other day. It really made me confused. Like, what would gazes have me think about me having straight urges? Can I suck the straight away? You can certainly try.
I haven't fully reviewed his process, but a lot of high up people that I know are working with him as well in that. So right on, cool. And then what was the other thing I wanted
No,
to...
he's not actually Indigenous. He claims he is, but he thinks everyone's Indigenous. He claims he's indigenous to Earth, and that's why he claims he's Indigenous.
Mention here, let me go back to my notes.
Oh, the trans Hydra. I did actually think this was cool. The scare image that turned fucking awesome. Yeah, pretty good.
I think what we'll do is on Wednesday, June 5th, I'm just going to mark this down. Let's do, say, we'll keep it the same time, 8 p.m. So June 5th at 8 p.m., that's next Wednesday, or okay, it's about next week. Yeah, this is the first time I've had my bank account closed in almost 15 years. And
oh yeah, he had one of his bogus bank accounts finally closed. That's good. He basically does this by opening false nonprofits and then having people use them as personal accounts. It's a little more complicated than that, but if you want basically an elevator pitch of what his scam is, it's with an MLM structure of recruiting people, having people pay for classes to open fraudulent nonprofits for personal use. Again, it's not perfect, but that's about what it is.
And again, that's because I'm calling them and actually threatening we're going to litigate them and go after them for fraud. So as long as you don't threaten your bank with litigation, they shouldn't close your account. Is it possible for a government to? They could, but I threatened Justin Trudeau that we were going to send private security to his house to arrest him, and they didn't shut our account for that. So I don't know what you'd have to do to get them to freeze your account. And then the other thing is just really the bank account is just there to get money out. You shouldn't leave a bunch of assets in the bank either way. I'd be putting
Man, it's almost like it's illegal what you're doing, and you're trying to intentionally avoid income tax. Man, maybe you should stop.
putting in gold, into silver, into commodities of some kind, into investing in your own society, developing programs, developing things that you can run that will bring in money day to day. That's where I would be investing my money. But technically, can they freeze it? They could. In general, do they? Not really. Is it possible though? Yes. There is also Sovereign Bank, and within that, they're different. So they are outside of Canada as far as jurisdiction goes.
Oh boy, is this a group of sovereign citizens that are trying to start their own bank? Oh boy, that's certainly a way to lose all your money. Hand it over to a sovereign bank.
And they're coming out with their debit and credit cards end of June, I believe, is when they have those out, or when they say they're bringing those out. So that's the place where if you don't feel comfortable leaving,
I'm gonna have to look into that because that sounds hilarious.
Your money in a normal bank, which I don't leave a bunch in there, I would put it into the Sovereign Bank. In the Sovereign Bank, where outside of Canada, they basically claim Indigenous status under the Great Sky. So they're basically worded it in a way that it's under just Indigenous.
I think he just called it Sovereign Bank.
Jurisdiction rather than nation states. So even for your normal bank account, though, like with the Sovereign Bank at a normal bank, you're defined as outside the country and non-domestic. Just within how they actually define that, which is part of why you're not taxable for that. Okay, so Peter, since I'm a complete newbie here, can you explain to me the difference between a private law trust and a sovereign society? Yes. So basically, we explain private law societies as a private law trust, so it makes sense to people, but there is
Nope, this isn't an old upload. He does these every month.
There's a difference between the two. So a private law trust is governed by trust law.
He posted this a day ago.
Or rule.
He live streamed this a day ago, I should say. Discordant Voles is incorporating in a personal demiplane for tax reasons.
So certain trusts, you have to renew them every 20 years, or under a trust, if you sell a property, they may regulate you to still pay like capital gains tax and that kind of stuff. But when you operate as a private law sovereign society,
joke's on you. That's why I only have capital losses.
You are self-governing. You are exempt from act and statute. This is now your own law that you are the signatory to. You are an emperor or an empress exercising
Mordekainen's magnificent tax shelter. That's very funny.
Lawful authority under God through your own rights, through your own programs, through your own society jurisdiction. And the other way to look at it is societies are who run the world. If you think Freemasons, Illuminati, Skull and Bones, all these different secret societies. Now, we're nothing like them because we're unregistered, unincorporated. It's voluntary. There's no blood oath, no harm, no Satan, none of that stuff. So we reverse engineered what that is to be a good tool. It's like a hammer. If you hit people in the head with it, it's going to cause harm. But if you're building a house, that's a good thing. So that's where the society model that we use is now lawful, correct to process under God-given rights. And it just also happens to line up with what Indigenous rights are, sovereign rights, God-given rights, birth rights, unalienable rights. It just depends on the community standard you come from and what word you use to identify what that means to you within your community standard or religion or that kind of stuff. So I think I answered that. So basically, trusts are still governed by act and statute, and a sovereign society is not. A sovereign society is your own law. Okay, perfect. Good. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, and if anyone else is shy and you don't want to appear on camera, you can just type
Marcel.
questions
His
that
name
you
is
have
Marcel
into
Bissett.
chat, and I'm more than happy to go through and answer them for you guys.
What he goes by, at
things
least.
are going super, super good, just so you guys know. We're getting lots of new clients every single week. I literally have stacks and stacks of lead cards of people waiting for us to get back. I'm actually going to be starting to hire some help. So I'm going to need some people to help call clients back. You'll make between $100 and $200 per sign up. And these are all warm leads. So if anyone's interested in helping me with that, just shoot me.
I find it hard to believe that on his website, he has 9 people listed as current partners. I find it a little hard to believe he gets that many people to sign up for this program.
Email sometime, because you can easily make between $200 and $500 a day. I mean, if you sign up 2 to 5 people in a day, you're going to make 500.
Well, why don't I sign up 10 or 30? Infinite money-making opportunity. That's how that works, right?
With $1,000. And then also, like I said, on Wednesday, we'll be hosting the how to host local events. So that way you can actually do foundings for people. And that will be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Winnipeg time.
Would I interview Marcel, being he knows I exist? Yes. I probably wouldn't do it live, just because he's been one to throw around certain words, and I don't want those words used on my stream when I can help it. But I would do a recorded interview if he was interested, sure.
Okay, let me scroll.
Marcel, I have a question about our bank accounts.
Yes.
Our private bank accounts.
Yep.
Okay, so when the CBDCs come into play, they say that the banks will be cut right out. It'll go
Have I seen the 4K upscaling on the James Cameron movies? Oh yeah, looks like shit.
straight.
Hate it.
From the person right to like a central bank. What do you think will happen with our bank accounts once that happens?
You know, really pretty much I don't worry too much about that side of things because I don't leave a ton of money in the bank. Like right now in the bank, I think
He stuffs it all under his mattress. Smart.
I have about $3,000. But I keep
you're rich.
but I keep about 80 to 90% of the money we have out of the bank. Like I just leave enough in there for like.
It's funny that he said that and she said, "Oh, you're rich." No, lady, he's nuts. He's not rich. He just makes bad decisions. I don't think he means it's in a bunch of high yield investments. He means he stuffs it under his mattress.
Rents or bills or our head office rent or things like that. So what I would recommend is just don't leave.
Is Marcel his actual government name? I don't want to know. If not, just if he or doesn't. It's not. I'm not going to say what his actual name is, but no, it's a non-de-guerre. Non-de-guerre.
Money in the bank. That's the first thing I would recommend. Sovereign, their banking system is a good workaround.
I do have money in their accounts as well.
We just need the debit and credit cards though. That's what we need for that. That's what I'm waiting on because I have money in there, but I'll put a lot more in there once they have the cards out.
Exactly. Yeah. And
is there anyone you currently cover, even if asked, you would not interview them? John Doyle.
I find
because John Doyle is so bad faith, there'd be no point in talking to him. Like, there would be nothing productive to say.
The problem with that is once the CBDCs come out...
more like nom de merde, am I right?
They were saying...
Merde. What's merde?
like if I said, if I wanted to put more
I feel like
money
I'm missing a joke.
into the account, how would I go about doing that, being that there's no more fiat currency? And they were saying, well, you just have to deposit by the digital system. Well, that's
Oh, it means shit,
the
but
CBDCs,
that's actually pretty fucking good.
which I'm not going to be in. So I'm not quite sure how that's all going to work either. So
Yeah, that'll be your own choice on what you decide to do, Roxanne. Like for me, pretty much, I know there's a change coming. Like it's obviously coming. Fiat currency is at the end of its road. They're switching
Oh, I bet. Fiat's any day now. Fiat's going.
over to
Don't say sorry, that was very funny. It both informed me of something that I had to look up and was clever. Don't ever apologize for being clever.
Brexit or whatever it's called over there, where it's no longer the petrodollar, and Russia and China's all teaming up, and gold-backed currency and all that. So it's definitely,
and I'm sure BRICS is doing great.
going to change. Yeah, but I don't know exactly when. And I mean, people have been worrying about this. I've been in this 15 years and people have been worrying about it for like a decade. Like it will happen at some point, but exactly when, I don't know. And exactly what the new system's going to look like, I don't know. That's why I encourage people, like with your societies and different things that you guys are doing, to, like, for me, for example, let's say, I'll just use my example. Let's say they wipe out our bank accounts. Let's say tomorrow police go to our headquarters and steal all our money and stuff and valuables that we have. Let's say bank accounts get closed. My value is really my society and what I teach. So the goal that I would encourage people to try and develop is intellectual property or programs that are set up. So even if you hit a zero balance tomorrow because they wipe everything, whatever the new system is, you'll have something of value to offer that you can.
Anyone can just make up any intellectual property. It's having intellectual property that people find of value and there's demand for. That's the important part, Marcel. Anyone can just make shit up. Look, I have intellectual property. I have an idea. It's a duck with fire hydrants for feet and a law textbook for a beak, and its name is Law Duck McFire Pants, and they go around and they quack the truth at sovereign citizens. There's intellectual property, but it's not valuable because no one wants it. You see what I mean? You can't just say, well, just come up with an idea. People like, yeah, that's the hard part, is coming up with a good idea. Like, you can't just... Toreador says milkshake duck moment.
Can generate new credit, new cash, new gold, new currency, whatever they switch into. I wish I had a magic answer for you, Roxanne. I appreciate, like, I'm a little bit apprehensive about that too, because we're starting to get to the point we have a decent amount of cash on hand. And I know I need to be throwing that into silver and gold and other things. Yeah, it's just kind of...
Has Peter had an opinion on the Trump verdict? I've not heard it. I'm sure he has one.
I don't have a magic answer for you, Roxanne.
Yeah,
like it's because that's just
why I guess that's why they say diversify, right? They do put some money in here, have some gold and silver.
No, they don't tell people to diversify in case the government closes their bank account. Oh, his marks are not smart. Oh.
Yeah, like honestly, my plan when I was still in the weed industry is I was just going to keep all my money in weed, because no matter what they turned into, people would want weed after, right? I'm not telling you to do that, but ideally, yeah, if you can put it into commodity or something that will have value still. Yeah, and I mean, long run, we'll want to open our own banks and stuff, but that's going to take a little bit more time.
So I keep all my money in cheese.
But that's where for right now.
Every paycheck, just buy as much wheels of Parmesan as I can afford. I keep them in the shed. I'm rich in parm, as they say.
Grateful we have sovereign, and I do hear what you're saying. The thing is, as long as you have your rights reserved, you can interact in any system if you need to.
Actually, it's not. A friend of mine had gone to a credit union and set up a bank account, and she wanted me to be like a joint account so that they couldn't touch her money because my name is on there as well.
Oh, so a joint account, that way it's not hers personally and they can't take cash out of it personally. Okay, for her personal.
And so we had it all set up, and the next
Hold of cautious optimism, thanks for 22 months, says, may your legion of doom come to full fruitedom.
day she was phoned by the credit union and said, we have to close your
Oh,
account.
I assume that's supposed to be fruition.
And she said, why? And she said, and the lady at the credit union said, because you signed under your name, all rights reserved. So that means you don't agree to our terms and conditions. And my friend said, well, maybe I don't agree with some of your terms and conditions.
Yeah, see, that's
Well, then you can't open an account. What do you think this is? You're signing a contract. You can't alter it. That's not how this works. The bank has a standard thing. They say you want an account, here are the conditions. We're not open to changing them for you as an individual. Either take it or leave it.
She just got a stupid banker because
she just got a stupid banker. Maybe you're stupid. Have you thought about that, Marcel?
You're not, you're in the Uniform Commercial Code 1-308, you have the ability to reserve rights in a legal agreement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so
okay, then you don't get the legal agreement. If you're saying, I don't agree to your terms, then they're saying, okay, then we retract our agreement. They don't need your business enough for that. That's not how this works. Radiology says, fun fact, famous diarist Samuel Pepys paused fleeing the Great Fire of London to bury his wheel of Parmesan cheese so he could retrieve it later when it was safe. Wheels of Parmesan cheese are actually pretty expensive, like a full one, so it does kind of make sense as a store of value.
She's wrong.
Especially if all of your valuables are going up in flames. It kind of makes sense, as silly as it is.
Whoever told you that is wrong, and this is why TD
Thanks, dreaded buzzkill.
closed my account, because this is when I threatened to litigate them.
Oh.
Because what they're saying is actually a violation.
Literally, in Italy, where they make Parmesan cheese, there are banks that'll do loans, and the backing for the loan will be wheels of Parmesan cheese.
Of international law as well as banking standards.
Okay, because when I opened my account, I signed all rights reserved under the TD Bank, and they didn't seem to say anything with me, but...
Yeah, no, and with TD, they never said anything with me signing all rights reserved. I'm just saying that this is the kind of instance where if someone else were opening an account, like if the bank, the credit union lady that you guys were talking to, if I talked to her, I would threaten her with litigation because she's committing fraud.
And they would say, get out of here, we don't want your business, we're not opening an account with you, you litigious bastard.
Okay.
By telling you guys you can't reserve rights in a contract, absolutely wrong.
Not but no, you're not negotiating, you're either signing it or not. It's not a negotiation. Those are the terms of the account. If you don't want it, then you gotta go find somewhere else. That's not how this works.
And that's where, and that's where...
Do they do the same in France? I'm not sure.
Sometimes credit unions...
I assume banks would do it against any asset that has a, solid enough, market value.
Honestly suck. We've had a lot more difficulty trying to open things with credit unions than we do with the major banks.
Yeah, I myself, personally, I wouldn't.
Why do you find Marcel so fascinating? Probably the same reason I do. He's abjectly delusional, and he consistently finds people to pull into his business, if you want to even call it that. It's interesting. It's seeing someone function at this level while being completely detached from reality. I don't know. A lot of stuff.
Deal with credit union, but yeah, some...
To me, it's whatever works, honestly, because really we're in a war against our enemy here. So whatever way you can set things up to just be able to get cash out. Like for me, once they closed our society account, I just route our website cash through my personal bank account now. And that's the way I'm doing it right now. I'll open up another society account through another bank at some point, but I'm frustrated with them, and I need time to recuperate my patience, or I'm going to swear at them. So yeah, but
sure, that's going to go great.
I
would hope that the banks have a list amongst each other, kind of like how airlines have like a do not fly list that's not like the federal one, but they kind of share it amongst each other, like, hey, here, unruly passengers, warning. I would hope banks have a list that's like, this is a fraudster, warning, that maybe will pop up if they try and open an account.
As long as you have an account, whether it's in your name, the society name, something, you just need a way to pull cash out of your website into your pocket. And at the end of the day, like I'm using my personal account now. So let's say we hit the end of the year and Canada Revenue Agency sends me a tax bill because I have 200 grand go through my personal account. I would just send them a notice saying this is society money. We're using my personal account, but it's not my personal income. I'm not paying you a penny. And
Okay, but it is your income because you're taking that money and you're pocketing at least some of it for your personal expenses because you have a house, you have an office, you buy food, you have a vehicle, I think. So some of that is your income.
we'll bill and lien you and go after you if you bother us because you're a fraud. And here's why we're not participating in what you're doing: religious exemption and
There's very little info shared between Canadian banks.
not wanting to support terrorism, basically. So, but yeah, so that lady at the credit union was just wrong. And those are the
You're
people I
wrong.
tend to, if they give me those answers, I just let them know they're incorrect, and then I get their manager. And
Let me speak to your manager.
and I would get the ISO officer to confirm what they're saying, International Standards of Operation, and tell them you want the name of whoever puts that in writing because they're liable if they're wrong. A lot of times the bank won't tell you who actually gives the decisions.
Man, it's almost like they don't want unhinged people threatening their loan officers and people who make decisions.
But if they do, that's great.
Yeah, but I guess that kiboshed our plans anyway, so.
I would just try it again with a different bank. I would just go to a different bank.
Yeah. Thanks, Marcel.
Yeah, Roxanne, my pleasure. And that's a cool workaround, by the way, as far as two people on an account, because then it's not yours solely. So I hadn't heard of that as a technique before, but it makes
Yeah,
sense.
actually, we got that idea from the Salvo guys. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and that's where the society account is just the next step up from that. It's like a joint account, but it's separate and whatever. But no, that's a great tactic. That's fantastic, and that's cool. That works. Okie dokie. Let me stroll through here. Anyone else with anything on their mind? Anyone want to say hi?
Hi.
Hey, Marcel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hello, Mr. W.
I'm doing good. Just walking around with my little guy here. I have a quick question. Would you have a reference to the this lawsuit that you mentioned that about supporting terrorism, the CRA and all that stuff?
If I have the actual Supreme Court case law, I don't. I have some people I could ask and get it, but I don't know it offhand. I just know that people use it all the time and it works. And I have clients who use it and it works.
Okay. No, I'm still.
But no, that's a valid question, William. 100%. That's a good question. And yeah, basically, I'm in the process. I'm about to start the Indigenous Law Representative course. And in that course, they have all the Supreme Court case law and all that stuff. And
Again, Marcel is not Indigenous. He's a random Canadian.
Get an Indigenous representative card, kind of like a bar card, except for it's from Alliance of Indigenous Nations. And it actually gives you authority to go into court and have standing like a lawyer, except for you're an Indigenous representative under Indigenous law, nation to nation law. And you're recognized as that when you go into court as an Indigenous representative. So once I go through that course, I'll have all that. And in the meantime, I can always just reach out to them and ask. So maybe just shoot me an email, William, with that question, and then I'll forward it to them and get that answer for you.
Oh, yeah, no rush on it. I was just curious. I know we were talking the other day about that, so
yeah.
I just figured I would check in. But yeah, I had the.
But no, it's important to know that is something you should have access to. So please, if you don't mind, send me that email and I'll get that for you, and then we'll have it on hand for other people in the future as well.
Yeah, I had the CRA telling me that all the paperwork I sent in was illegal. So now I want to ask them to send me some legal paperwork. So we're just going back and forth here and I'm having a blast. This is great. So phenomenal schooling here.
Got you. So was it our debt letter you used, or what process are you using in advocating for yourself against them?
No, I'm doing I know we were talking the other day, the accepted for value. And I'm not sure if it means the same to you as what it does to me and whatnot, but it's pretty much just following like the Bills of Exchange Act, and that they're
accepted. If you've ever heard sovereign citizens say accepted for value in return for value, basically they think that sometimes if you're being handed a piece of paper or contract or legal document, that by taking it, you're entering into some sort of agreement. So when they say accepted for value, returned for value, what they're basically trying to say is, I accept this paperwork, but I am not, through accepting this paperwork, accepting the terms of whatever you were trying to secretly get me to accept. It's nonsense, but that's what it means to them. MH Darkbeast says, Hannah needs a cheese cleanse from just a few days ago. Let's take a look.
Well, a bizarre British tradition full of thrills and spills drew competitors from all over the world to the west of England, and a North Carolina graduate was among them, tumbling down a steep hill, chasing a very unusual prize. CBS's Ian Lee has that story.
For the love of cheese, people risk life and limb, hurling their bodies down a famous hill in England.
And we've got several big fallers right in the middle.
For a 9-pound wheel of double Gloucester cheese.
It's been recorded at 70 miles an hour.
For centuries, these dairy-chasing daredevils have pursued the prize to claim the wheel and bragging rights. This year, 2022 champ Abby Lampy from North Carolina will fight, or rather fall, to reclaim her throne.
What's the secret to getting down this hill?
Fully committing and sending it.
Abby convinced her
Sending
friend
it.
from university, Kimmy Gibbia, to give it the old college try.
Once you're here, it feels a little like when in Rome, you're here, you might as well do it.
There are 6 races with
The injury rate is strikingly high. Of course it is! This is blood sports.
6 chunks of cheese up for grabs.
Are you worried about getting injured at all?
No, I'm not. I heal fast. I'm only 23.
A bit cocky then.
Or maybe it's a winning attitude, because off the line, Abby tumbles with tenacity.
Is her strategy just to absolutely eat shit and fall down as quickly as possible?
Crowd of thousands.
Oh my god,
The
she's got a
lion
technique. She it seems like she's falling quite intentionally.
Audience
But she's a clear winner if she can just keep it together.
watching
no-
every
Oh my god!
and
She
fall.
deserves this cheese. Jesus Christ.
And in the end, Abby proves she's the big cheese, retaining her crown.
Returning champion, how does it feel to win a second time?
It feels great. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Here, the taste of victory isn't sweet.
Is there another strategy you can think of? Yes, wait at the bottom of the hill and be a bad sport and steal the cheese and run away and hope you can outrun everyone. Or alternatively, I could just buy cheese. I'm an adult. I don't have to tumble down a hill. I'm 30. I can go to the store and buy a wheel of cheese. If anything, I'm the demographic for that. I'm 30 years old. I'm American. Cheese is like our thing. Dillis Filler says, is this what keeping it together looks like? Wow, I'm doing better than I thought.
Savory. Ian Lee, CBS News,
Woo!
Gloucestershire,
That's a tumble.
England.
That looks really, really dangerous.
What's so special about this cheese? It's cheese. What do you mean? Like, you need another reason?
Because there is no money, we're just exchanging builds.
Yeah, I
And
understand what you're talking about with that, William. Yeah, we're not going to go through that too
Okay.
much on here because I don't really teach
Oh, no.
the process, but I do understand what you're talking about, and I'm interested to hear and see how that works for you. And if it's at a point that we can repeat the results, then I'll make it accessible to everyone else too.
With what money, cat girl streamer? True. True.
But
Absolutely.
it's just, yeah, the what I generally do when I deal with them is I just conditionally accept upon proof of claim. And because any claim they have is fraud, then we pin them into fraud. And that's where it's just a simpler way
You think I'm above putting cheese on a credit card? Think again.
to achieve the same goal, basically.
Okay.
Because I'm not actually trying to balance it because it's a fraud in the first place. So I don't care about accepted for value. I just need to prove that it doesn't meet the terms of a valid contract, and therefore I'm not bound to honor it. Therefore, I don't have to pay them squat.
Okay. No,
Benikagami says, but Hannah, your strategy would rob your cheese of the sweet seasoning that is victory. I don't care what the cheese wants. I'm gonna eat it. You think I care about anything that's gonna be inside of me?
I completely understand. I'm thinking about keeping yours as a solid backup, and I'm just going to go with this other route to see if just
test
trying a
it.
different venue. So
Test it, William, for
Yeah.
sure, and see if you can get it to work for you. And if you have success, talk to me about it, definitely. And if you hit a dead end with that, let me know, though, and I can guide you on the process we use. That's pretty ironclad.
Awesome. No, I really appreciate your patience on this. I understand your point of it. I know we talked about it the other day, but
For sure, for
I
sure.
have a lot of respect for you being straight up. So I know
Thank
where
you.
you
And
stand, and I
I
appreciate
respect
that.
you doing the stuff I don't want to do, because if you have success with it, then that saves me having to do work and we can produce a result. So however it works, man, I
No,
just
I
want us to win
understand.
either way. So thank you for pursuing the stuff that I don't do, because that's important too. So
No, I'll get off the phone, but no, that's yeah. Thank you again for your time and everything else. I'm definitely interested in trying to pitch sales. I know I'm not good at sales, but if you
I'm
like,
not good at sales, but I decided to join a sales-based pyramid scheme. Smart.
do some training or something, or if you have some material I could look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll shoot you an
Yeah.
email with that in there.
perfect. And then the other thing I'll mention for anyone who is interested in that position, this isn't cold sales. You're literally just calling on my behalf to someone who already got a
Yes, Harold Edelman. Yes.
hold of us.
Okay.
It's just I have like probably about between 500 and 1,000 people that are waiting for me to get back to them.
Wow. Okay.
So it's getting to the point I can't keep up anymore. So within that, that's why I just need a few people just to say, hey, calling on behalf of Marcel. He asked me to give you a call, private law trust. Are you ready yet? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So it's just really a touching base to see if they're ready to move ahead, or if there's a barrier that we can help them with. And that's basically
Mr. Duck Sauce says I want a Parmigiana wheel from Costco, which is 1.2 thousand, so I can make pasta in the wheel. One day I would like to be wealthy enough to have a big wheel of cheese like that. Like, I know I would go through it eventually. I love Parmesan. I put it on everything when I have it. So if I could get an actual wheel of Parmesan Reggiano, holy shit.
Position is. So it's all warm leads. It's all people I've spoken to already. And we have a script and stuff. So yeah, we can provide training for all that. No problem.
Beautiful. No, I'm definitely interested in.
Okay.
As you know, I like talking. So
well, the nice thing is if out of warm leads, if you'll make 5 or 10 sales in a day, you're making like 500 to $1,000 a day, if not a little more.
5 to 10 sales a day is a lot of sales to make, especially over the phone sales.
So the money's really good.
That's a ton. That would be an incredible day for sales. 5 to 10 sales? That's absurd.
And it's like, as far as the sales job goes, it's a warm lead, easy layup position. So yeah, definitely shoot me an email, William, and we'll go through that. And that goes out to other people who are on.
Real quick, cheese wheel pasta. I want it. Next streaming fundraiser, Wheel of Cheese month.
On here as well.
Ray says at my best I could maintain 8 to 12 a day. But I don't know what you were selling, though, in fairness, too. Is it scams? Because Marcella's selling scams.
And just shoot me an email if you're interested.
It's pretty good, though.
And then we'll set up training days and times and all that good stuff. So
sounds good. All right, I'll get off the mic here. Thank you very much.
And thank you for talking, William. That way I'm not sitting here just talking to myself. I appreciate it.
I'll keep on listening in. Thanks again.
Yeah, for sure. You betcha. Let's see who else we got here. Thank you for making it, Amanda. I see you in there. Nurtured Nature. Hope you're doing well. Does anyone else have anything on their mind? Oh, here we go. Okay, another question. Yay. .org domains hard to get? No, they're not hard to get. It's the exact same as, okay, here, let me read the whole question here. Trying to get a .org name. All suggest domains come back as .com. Is that normal? So a .com is for a company.
If someone is a telemarketer, probably a little bit of a scam. Fair enough.
So most things getting websites are a company. That's why they always suggest the .com. .org is for an organization. And that's how come, as having an unregistered, unincorporated society, it's just more accurate to put .org. So that's the reason we recommend doing, it should end in society.org. So whatever your society name is, and then society.org. And they're communicating with.
Okay, I'm done with Marcel. Fewer people on his call than last time, which is interesting. I wonder if he's losing people again. He'll tend to go in these cycles of finding new followers, burning bridges, losing followers, and then kind of restarting again. Wondering if he's on the downswing where he started alienating some people already.
We can talk, right? I got a student, right? I got a student out of Florida and everything like that, right? And so, you know, he was charged with something and everything like that. And, you know, it's a traffic violation. I think it was driving with no license. Now, I don't know this guy. I never met him before. He's not a, he never paid for a course or anything like that. But one time he called me, right? So I think this is
You're
when
in 36. Thanks for following.
first got encounterment with the police, right? So he was like, these stupid ass cops, these pigs keep coming after me and everything like that. You know, I'm gonna sue them for what he said, I'm gonna sue them for gold and silver. They're gonna pay me for gold and silver for every day I'm here. I think he said he won $1 million a minute or $1 million an hour or something like that for him being in jail. And he say this 2 days, they owe him 2 days worth of pay and everything like that, right? And so I'm like,
You trying to claim he makes $1 million a minute every day?
okay.
That's not how that works.
What made you think you entitled to all of that? He said, because this is an illegal arrest. They arrested me illegal. And so I'm like, okay, stick to it, right? So stand on it. If you believe that you're entitled to anything, you know, stand on it. Give it 2 days later. He called me back. I said, how you doing, bro? He said, man, I just can't do this no more. I can't. And I said, what can't you do? He said, they won. I just want to go home. I'm just tired. And I said, you tired? He said, yeah. And so I'm like, what people don't understand is why people think that just because you exercise your constitutional rights, thinking that everything is all nice and sweet and cuddly. No, you was given a social security number. You got a driver's license that you once upon a time received from the DMV. You got a state ID that you received from the DMV. And so you now want to exercise your constitutional rights, right? Which you can at any time. And you just want it to go so smoothly in your way. It don't work like that. Because for me, I always tell people that rights are meant to be fought for. It's not just given to you. Like I said before, you are going against an organized government, an organized system, an organized group of judges, an organized group, right? Now here go us coming very disorganized, even though many things that's in the Constitution applies to us, whether it be your common law rights, whether it be your right to travel, whether it be your right to bear arms and everything like that. But we still got to understand that it is a separate jurisdiction that is attacking the American people that's foreign to the United States of America.
Oh, he's gonna get into this. No, there isn't. Hydrate, can do, and Terradona says, yeah, jail will break you. Cool story, though.
So even when Trump, being the person that he is, being a conservative that he is, the person who's very enlightened when it comes to constitutional law,
I'm sorry, did you just say that Trump is enlightened on constitutional law? Oh boy.
the person that understands the Constitution and everything like that, even his rights get violated. So if
His rights have not been violated. He just was found guilty.
Rights get violated. Just imagine the average person who is trying to exercise their constitutional rights. Just imagine the average Joe who say, hey.
One sec.
this is wrong, and I think I know what's right. Okay. It's like,
I don't think he's
even
giving
though
good
you
advice
know it's
now.
right, even though something is right, does it really make it right in the public eye? Because remember, just remember, the government has brainwashed every juror head to believe that a firearm card, a firearm license, is what enables you to carry a gun. But the
Is he talking about his trial now? Because I know he's in trouble because he was having a firearm as a felon, which he's not supposed to. Sorry, I accidentally skipped.
was that he said because this is an illegal arrest. They DMV. You guys, I said before, the Constitution and everything like that, even his rights get violated. Does it really make it right in the public eye? Because remember, just remember, the government has brainwashed every juror head to believe that a firearm card, a firearm license, is what enables you to carry a gun. But the Constitution to the United States of America says otherwise.
The Constitution to the United States of America says a well-regulated militia, you can be regulated. Your firearms can be regulated.
So,
God damn, I hate when people cite the Constitution without fucking reading it. They're just like, Second Amendment says guns, right? It just says guns in all caps and cool italics.
I tell a lot of people that I don't care how long you've been studying this. I don't care how many teachers that you go through. The best experience when dealing with criminal cases, when dealing with protecting your constitutional rights, it gotta come from experience. Everything that you've been taught could be sufficient. You can learn some good stuff. It's a lot of good tools out there. I learned a lot of good stuff, right? But you wouldn't know what you really got until you go in that courtroom. When I went in that courtroom, I knew that all of my works paid off because I was very confident. I knew I was very articulate with my words. I know I'm very well educated when it comes to the law. I know I'm very smart when it comes to these things. So the person who's been study, but no action, they're gonna find themselves like they be at a photo shoot when they go to courtroom like this. Because they first line of defense is arguments instead of just talking to the judge. Most people haven't even established good relationships with the judge, not saying y'all are friends, but having the judge to look at you with some sort of decency when you step in the courtroom. Many people say, oh, well, the judge is against what you filing. No. The judge is not against what you filing. The judge is against how you articulating the case law and procedures. Most of you guys go out of context when you come to the court with these frivolous arguments, right? So back to what I'm saying. Everybody want to be free until it's time to go to jail. When it's time to go in them handcuffs, when it's time to go to the back of the police patrol vehicle, when it's time to say you are under arrest for carrying a gun without a license, you under arrest for driving too fast, you under arrest for driving without a license. The same people that advocate towards this stuff be scared because they wasn't prepared for it. You got to understand, family, I'm prepared for this every single day. I do my right to travel every single day. I travel without a license every single day. It's not one day that I don't think these people can grab me. It's not one day go past. Why?
Seems like a bad course of action if you recognize that every day you're doing something that could get you arrested. It seems not great. That seems like a really stressful way to go through life, and I think it'd just be easier to get a license and not steal tens of thousands of dollars.
I think like every day is gonna be a fight. Now, me, I know a little more than the average person who's been studying this because I understand contracts. I don't have a contract in the state of Louisiana. When I got pulled over, I don't have a contract in Texas. Oh, back to what another thing, right, to show y'all, right? So remember that ticket I got in Texas back in, I got this back in, I want to say January. They kept prolonging the case, right? I never showed up to court. I checked back on the docket. The court case is closed, and they left a $179 fine. That fine is going nowhere. Why? Because I don't have a license in the state of Texas. I never obtained.
Okay, and that's still on your record. Shit catches up to you eventually. I don't know what to tell you. It didn't go away.
Any government
Joke's on you. I'm gonna refuse to pay it. Okay. and you're gonna get in more and more trouble every time they catch you, because they're gonna see that on your record.
Issue ID in the state of Texas. And on top of that, family, when I got pulled over in Louisiana, guess what they did? They let me go. I got no contracts in the state of Louisiana. I got no contracts nowhere in the United
It's
States.
so dumb.
The only difference is in Illinois, all of my contracts is in my original native state. That's why I even got into the situation before. But regardless if you got contracts or not, remember, I know a case law where it states jurisdiction cannot be waived, meaning even if you go into a venue, you can always challenge jurisdiction under any grounds, because remember, jurisdiction can never be waived. Whether you talking personal, whether you talking personam, whether you talking subject matter, jurisdiction can never be waived. But you guys got to know how to properly file.
What's weird to me is Taquan spouts off the same Sobsit stuff that everyone else does who's a Sobsit, but he always acts like he knows a bunch of secret tips that other sovereign citizens don't. He doesn't. He's just very confident. It's interesting. Jitara says these guys talk about contracts as if they're deals with devils. That's basically how they think about it.
And challenge jurisdiction. Most people going to court with these frivolous arguments, y'all. Y'all got to realize, right, that I know it.
Unlike Taquan's frivolous arguments, which are much more confidently stated.
It seems cool. I know that, you know, it's the right thing to do with being a national. I know you guys know that it's the right thing to do. Just because it's the right thing don't make it the right thing, because most people are not prepared to fight for what is right. You've been so brainwashed and conditioned for many, many years and subjected yourself to this foreign jurisdiction, and you just think you're going to come in with the end all, end all, be all. No. Unless you, listen, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? And let me explain this, right? Give me 1 second. I'm finna stop. I'm finna say something deep, right? Let me tell y'all something deep, right? Let me explain something to y'all. If you wasn't born without a license, if you wasn't born without a social or birth certificate, if you wasn't born without a state ID, now the birth certificate don't matter, eliminate that. If you weren't born with voter registration, like meaning you never obtained it, then it would be much different. If a person never had a state ID, never had a driver's license, never had a social security card issued to them, it'd be way more easy than what we go through. Cause
no, it would be virtually impossible to navigate day-to-day life, to get jobs, to even apply for jobs. He does this to his kids. His kid doesn't have a social security card or birth certificate, to my knowledge. Gonna make her life way more difficult when she gets of age and realizes she needs those things to live.
What we going through is pretty much a person who is trying to get out of a bad contract, and we fighting it. So the presumption of personal jurisdiction will be out the way, because it won't exist, because they don't never have contracts against you. A person having no social security number, there's nothing to tie that person in to our jurisdiction. It'd be way different. So like my kids and everything like that, they wouldn't have the type of issues that we have. Oh no, not at all. They never.
Your kids are gonna have way worse problems that aren't even their fault. Hooray!
They had a social security number issued to them. They never will have a state ID issued to them. They already have their passport as a national. So nothing links
How in the world do you think you're gonna get your kids in school when they get old enough to enroll?
To nothing, right? And so when you're dealing with people like that, it's a much different game. So the game is not harder. The reason why it's harder for us is because we've been the brainwashed children who have brainwashed parents who didn't know, right? They didn't know. So you can't blame them because they didn't know. They thought the government was telling the truth, and it's okay. But you got to realize that our fight is going to be much harder than this, because we got all the contracts. We stuck with all the contracts. We subjected our children and ourselves to all of the contracts. And remember, just because you cancel or surrender the ID, it's always in a database. So that's always can get pulled up. Now you can challenge it, yes you can, but when a person have no contracts,
the government school, even if they want to homeschool, they're still gonna need something to have them registered somewhere. Because like even at homeschool, they make the kids take tests to make sure that you're doing something.
Never had any contracts, and they never voluntarily signed themselves up to any contracts. It has the government or the prosecutor in that case have no legs to stand on, because when jurisdiction is argued or challenged at any time, you could pull back anytime, because in their mind, They never subjected themselves to the jurisdiction. They never agreed to a fingerprint. They never agreed to be a part
Depends
of
on the state. He's in Texas.
the jurisdiction, or they never agreed to nothing. It's a different game. It's a different ball game. So what they
Benigagami says it's amazing how much people think confidence is a sign of honesty and expertise, when in reality it's the opposite. An honest person and expert uses precise and measured language to ensure they're conveying correct information. One wonders if the zeitgeist will shift to where people will be more skeptical of hyper-confident people. One would hope.
they operating under right now is a presumption of jurisdiction. So most judges operating under the presumption that like your ID says this. So when you're looking at your criminal arrest report, it's showing you like, look, this is what they're charging you with. This is the address that they have on file for you. This is the ID that they have on file for you, which will be the state ID, and that's what they use in order for them to obtain jurisdiction. Or
your IDs are in no way used for them to have jurisdiction. Jurisdiction exists, like, de facto. Like, it exists when you're in the geographical location of a certain area that has a government. They have jurisdiction over you.
Well, assert jurisdiction over you, right? Now, those can be challenged at any time, but, remember, we don't got the easiest battle. So many people who hopping in it right now, you best to get your children prepared before you, because your children have a way better head start. Even if they got a social, but they never obtain a state ID, your children will still be good, because you can get them a passport as a non-citizen national that does not link to the that does not link to the driver's license, that is not linked to the state ID. And your kids can be free, even if they got socials. But if they ever got a state ID or anything like that, your kids are slaves for a long time. Even if they get out, they got to fight. That's why I tell a lot of people, I say, are you ready to fight? Are you ready? Are you prepared to fight? Or you just want to be free? Or you just using your mouth and say, hey, I want to be free. No, that's not how it works. You got to fight for it. Like I had to fight for it, you got to fight for it. The judge, he ordered for me to be on house arrest, right? I had to go to court to fight for it, got myself off, right? No attorney, no nothing, right? You got to fight for rights, right? Like it's nothing, anything can happen. And people go on YouTube and they laugh at people, like, oh, he went to jail, it's okay. Remember, everybody's not meant to be free. It's not for everybody to be free. Just because you know it don't mean everybody should be free, because when you're dealing with a system that goes against freedom, and you're going against a system that goes against liberty, then you have to fight. And only so many people are going to take that out, because remember, everybody operating and enjoying the privileges and the benefits that they're receiving. Everybody love SSI. Everybody love government assistance. Everybody love the food stamp program. Everybody love government health care. So you want them to take away that and give you rights. They said bullshit. So the American people said, we don't want that. We want to be taken care of. So those small individuals.
Social safety nets that we barely have existing doesn't take away people's rights. Good God.
Who dealing with rights and everything like that, that's a battle that you got to fight for yourself. Don't matter what the naysayers said. Don't matter what these gurus say. I mean, not the gurus, but the trolls say on the internet. You got to fight for what's right. You got to fight for your right. You got to fight for your gun rights. Don't matter what happened. You got to be prepared for it. And if you're not prepared for it, do not do it. Continue living like a slave. And it's okay. This is the thing. I don't knock anybody because remember, it's easier. It's comfortable. It's easier to submit to servitude. It's easy.
You're literally just a scumbag who steals tens of thousands of dollars. Fuck off.
Easier to follow the government.
I know it's easier. You're just a thief. You're a scumbag that steals cars and money for a living. And you're acting like other people are lazy? Go fuck yourself, loser. What's wrong with you?
It's easier to...
Benigagami says, not everyone deserves to be free. That's a call out to the white supremacist origins of the Sobsit movement, not intentionally.
To lay down your life and give up everything and say, hey, I'm gonna let you be in control. It's easy to do that. It's easy. Because it's almost like if you got kidnapped.
Crisscross with a $10 super chat says, your patent is pending for Law Duck McFire Pants, and I posted him on the Discord. Hell yeah.
And you was in a POW camp, and instead of breaking out, you decided to be a slave. You decided to pick up rocks every day for them. You decide to mine coal and everything like that. That's like that. That's
first of all, fuck him for victim blaming anyone who's been captured in any context. Secondly, check out Law Duck McFire Pants, which is honestly done brilliantly. Attorney Bird at Law. Attorney at Bird Law. Thank you, Crisscross. This is beautiful. Duck you in your common law too. And there's the fire hydrant feet. That's beautiful. Thank you.
That's the easier part because you listening to them. Like you are servant at that moment, right? So you don't have individual liberty anymore. So you traded out your individual liberty to be a slave and be under servitude. And like I say, most people can't be free. Most people won't be free.
The parasite calling its host lazy, not being a leech like him.
People are not even in the position to be free. The only thing that most people gonna have to encounter is to be slaves. That's why when you bring up stuff like this, right to travel, oh, I don't want to listen to that. Get you a license. Okay, get them a license. It's best for them to get a license than for you to argue with a slave to try to be free. This is the one thing that I never done, right? I never tried my best. After I became really knowledgeable in this, I never tried my best to really change a person from what they already is. Everybody don't deserve freedom because everybody might not have that vision on what you see. Back then, when I was telling people, man, felons got the right to bear arms, I was telling my uncle them, they was like, yeah, man, but you know, you got to be careful. But they was like, yeah, it's in the books, but I don't know about that, right? Man, guess what? Come 2 years later. Now what you see, Supreme Court case rules, felon in possession of firearm, they can't say it's unconstitutional. You got your constitutional right to bear arms. Now most of the circuit courts are seeing it. So back then,
Quan, that means that when you were saying it, it wasn't considered case law that was legal. Ashley, one up. What do you want me to look up in Black's Law Dictionary? Self-incrimination? Yeah.
we had the 50-50 split. Only half the circuit courts said a felon can't bear arms. The other half of the circuit court says a felon can bear arms. Now the Ninth Circuit courts, now we over the amount of circuit courts that say yes. I mean, district court that say yes, you can have a gun, right? Freedom got to be fought for. There's people right now who died and they never really experienced true freedom. It's people who died who never fought for freedom because they was too busy being a servant. And you know, even if you want to be free, but you like, all right, I don't got the guts to do it, it's best to at least learn about it. Don't knock it until you learn it, until you see it and you...
Self-incrimination. Acts or declarations either as testimony at trial or prior to trial which one implicates himself in a crime. The Fifth Amendment, U.S. Constitution, as well as provisions in many state constitutions and laws, prohibit the government from requiring a person to be a witness against himself involuntarily or to furnish evidence against himself. It's the burden of the government to accuse and carry the burden of proof of guilt. The defendant cannot be compelled to aid the government in that regard. See also compulsory self-incrimination.
Really study it without biasness. Biasness is what can interrupt your entire perspective on this.
Biasness.
So if you got biasness, that's like a person saying, okay, well, if the government say it's true, does it mean it's true? No. Just because the government mandate a certain statute, just because the government bring forth new laws and policies, does that make it constitutional? Fuck no, you know that.
Okay, but it's not up to you to decide that on a personal level.
You know that. That's why you got the supremacy clause in the Constitution. Many government sanction and pass laws and bills that are repugnant to the Constitution. Many laws and many people who pass law. I mean, many people in Congress do stuff like that all the time, right? Yeah, family. So
Hydrate.
I like to see a judge standing on 500. Yes, sir. But yeah, you know, many people, many judges or many politicians and everything like that goes against the Constitution. But it's up to you, being a free people, to fight for your rights. You know, it's just funny to me when I hear people talk about this sovereign stuff, but when it's time to go to jail, they cry. Or when people talk about this sovereign stuff, when they get into a situation.
Yeah, they expect this to get them out of stuff because that's the whole point, isn't it? If it doesn't, what's the point?
They give up. I had a few people, right? One person went to jail for a license. They said, no, man, they canceled their license. They came back a week later. and they got their license back, and they said, man, I can't do it, but I love it. I love the content, but I can't do it. And guess what I told them? I said, I'm proud of you for being honest. I don't want nobody to live a life that if they truly don't want it. I always tell people before people come to me for status correction, I say, what is your reason? They'll say, oh, I just think it's right. Don't become national. Most of the time, the reason why I say you got to have a reason is because that is what's going to give you the determination. That's how you're going to be well articulate when it comes to status correction. That's how you're going to be very articulate when it comes to going to court and defending yourself. You go into the court and you really don't know why you're doing it. You really have no...
Having some sort of reason doesn't inherently make you able to articulate points, as to why you believe that this is correct. That doesn't make any sense.
Purpose in doing it, you lose passion. And if you lose passion, guess what happens? You go to court and you don't understand anything. So a person can teach you, but you won't understand it. Knowing and understanding is two different things. Knowing and just having a surface form of knowledge, like you just know it on the surface. But understanding is to have a full, deep interpretation of something and where you can use the information to your own advantage. Meaning, if you know how to make a muffin, it's one thing, but when you understand how to make a muffin, you know every creative way how you could design a muffin to different elements on how you want the design and the texture to be, right?
I need to know the muffin elements. Juggle, I can do that. Juggle these muffins.
So that's exactly what I mean when it comes to jurisdiction, or not jurisdiction, but status correction. So when a person really have a deep passion, it's going to be easy to catch on to it. Like me, I have a passion for it. This is not nothing that I say, hey, I just want to do it just because it sounds fun. No, I did it because I was a felon and I knew that we had the disadvantage a lot, right? We always had the disadvantage. We was always looked at like, hey, you know, we don't have a second chance at life. We was looked at as the rebels, right? And so when I learned about
the rebels,
stuff, I was like, okay, what
Sir,
is
do you think that people think about felons and think, ah, rebels?
And everything. What is making us, you know, slaves? Well, how do they gain jurisdiction over us? And so when I started looking at the acts submitting persons to jurisdiction, when I looked at the list, I tried to dumb it down to figure out, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? How can you confess jurisdiction? How can you voluntarily profess jurisdiction? And so when I look at it, I'm like, oh, so this is how they get us, right? And so that is what helps me with the case. So
do all Trump supporters sound like this? No, this guy's actually much more intelligent and articulate than most Trump supporters.
Anytime I'm dealing with a criminal case, I know every process that I can do, right? So not one time
he's
I went
wrong.
To a duel and say, man, how do I fight my case? Because
but nonetheless, I've heard Trump supporters who are huge idiots, not just wrong, but can't like have a discussion about anything.
I know it now. It's like it's secondhand nature. I know how to properly file a motion. I know how to properly go to the court and address the court. I have respect for the judge. I have respect for the judge. The judge have respect for me. Me and the judge never been in one argument. Me and the judge never been in one disagreement in a sense where he look at me as not credible. Never, not one time. And so when you have a deep passion for freedom, it goes above and beyond a person just, you know, just doing something. I'm not doing, like, this is the thing, I'm not doing shit. Like, it's not like I'm just looking at YouTube and say, hey, no, I live it every day. That's how you become better in it. That's how you get way more knowledge, and that's how you get the confidence in it, because I live it every single day. It's not a day that go past that I don't exercise my constitutional rights. It's not a day that go past. I went to the court doing my right to travel. Every time I go to court, right, when I'm in Chicago, I got a vehicle out there, and I got a private plate, and I drive my private plate inside of court, and I'm going to court. And under my docket, they put drive without a license. They cancel all those cases, but drive without a license. I do it every day. So I exercise my rights every single day. Every single day.
I like that he just admits to crimes he's currently committing on the internet.
I exercise my constitutional rights every single day. And I fight for my rights every single day. So what I'm saying, family, you need to have passion for it. You got to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Because remember, when I first started teaching this stuff, I wasn't on YouTube. I was actually, you know, just showing people like
private plate, not private plane.
friends and family.
Like he has a non-real license plate on his vehicle.
That I know, and I only want to teach felons because if you was a felon, it'd be more passion, because when you learn the information, you will say, I'm a felon. I have a real reason to why I want to change my status. Now, just imagine.
Zyron36 says, sometimes I wonder why this still continues if it clearly doesn't work, yet these people continue to insist it does. There's a variety of reasons. Some of them think that even if it doesn't work, they think they're right. And by that I mean they think that the system is corrupt, but the way that they envision the system is morally correct outside of the reality of the situation. They're wrong, but that's how they think. Others selectively think that something happened, that they just said the words wrong, or maybe they got the wrong judge, but it would work otherwise. So some people just, like, selectively cherry-pick their version of events to justify their individual failure while still believing that the system itself works. Others are just straight-up delusional. Like, straight-up, actually crazy. So it just depends.
Imagine a person who never been in jail, the person who always had a good, a clean background. He never been in jail. He never had a dirty background. He followed every rule, everything. And now you just want to switch your life drastically, and now you want to be free. It's not even consistent. Like, what you're trying to do is not even consistent with your life pattern. It's not even consistent. It's not even consistent with your life pattern. It's not even consistent. So I just need more people to understand that. Riz, thank you, family. I appreciate it. But I just need more people to get passionate with this. I need more people to study, but I also need more people to act on it. But before you act on anything, I need you to study and ask yourself, is this really what I want to do? Do I really want to be free? But do I also want to pay for freedom too? Not just be free, but pay for it too. Now I'm in Texas. I don't have
paying for freedom seems a little counterintuitive.
The issue, like car issues, none of that. I don't have no issues with being pulled out. I don't have issues with going to jail. I've never had a contract in Texas, so I probably would never have to worry about that, right? But
he's already been pulled over in Texas a few times, I believe.
Home state, yeah, but here, no. But not even in my home state, because I got pulled over plenty of times in my home state, got let go, so I really don't have no issue, right?
He still got tickets. He literally means he was not put in handcuffs and arrested because his wife and child were in the car. Which the cops told him it was because his wife and child were in the car that they were letting him go with a ticket that day.
What I'm saying is, family, don't be scared to go to jail when it's time.
Hannah the Muff Juggler.
When it's really time. And protect yourself at all times. Make sure that you got the knowledge. Make sure, really, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, right? I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. The real fight is in that courtroom. Why? Because when everything's said and done, it is the state that you're going against, not necessarily the police officers. Remember, they're just there to enforce compiled statutes. They're not there to look at jurisdiction. They're not there to see if you can challenge jurisdiction. They're only there to comply with the compiled statute. So if the compiled statute says this or that, if the compiled statute says this or that, and they take you in for that, you got to meet the judge, and it's time for you to battle. Most of the
time for you to battle the judge.
And the judge already under perception or presumption. Oh, he got to get a public defender. He have to have legal representation. He have to have a lawyer on his case, or he have to have a public defender on his case, or they under presumption that he don't know nothing about the law. So when you go in there, they already make you their enemy. But this is what you got to do. Don't match the judge energy. Keep your own sanity. So when I came to court and represented myself, not one time the judge ever seen me get mad at the judge or disrespecting the judge. I said, good morning, Your Honor. And the reason why I do that, right, because most of us go to court and we argue with these people. We go to court and we disrespect the judge. So a lot of y'all arguments just get rejected because now the judge couldn't even fully analyze any argument from y'all because most of the stuff
he thinks the reason sovereign citizen arguments get rejected is because people present them as assholes and not also because it's simply incorrect.
I say it's so frivolous.
Don't get me wrong, having an attitude doesn't help. Just like in the interaction, it's going to escalate things, but still, you're still wrong. I'm sure the judge will be a little more polite about it, but you're still wrong.
And so, like you gotta at least put yourself in a position where a person can at least have a level of respect for you. You know what I'm saying, family? So make sure that the judge can at least respect you. Make sure that you can at least respect the judge, at least. If it's nothing else, make sure you can do that. And then all the other arguments, play a role. But, don't 48 again.
Okay, I think I'm done with him and stream for the day. Don't think there was any other interesting stuff.
To protect the name of the
There was this, but it's a little long. I'll probably save it for next Sovsit, the guy that asked for Jesus to be his attorney.
Lord Jesus.
I'm happy to call you Jesus if that's what you'd like. I don't know that is that what you're asking?
I'm asking again, if I'm not prohibited from following the teaching of the Holy Scripture, do you have a name of your own?
I do.
Love you too, Mr. Blast. It seems that he's kind of lying. It seems like he knows what's going on, because they did catch that defendant in a phone call. Because you know how they record the jail phone calls, expressing that he was just trying to buy time by acting loopy, but a little funny. Someone said there was a raid, right? Someone said there was a raid they want. There it is. Queen PIB. Let's find this person.
May have just guaranteed that he'll live a little longer. We've made it to Poznan in Poland, apparently.
Alrighty. Have a great night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we'll be doing tomorrow, but it'll be fun, whatever it is. Maybe we'll continue with Pickup Artist. We did the first couple episodes of Season 2 the other day, so maybe we will, do that. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. See you later.